great.
Do the muhahaha. Oh yeah.
Oh, that's great. Revolution.
Hey there.
Revolution's coming up. Good evening, concerned American. Good to see you.
American, don't be afraid. I won't bite you. I promise.
Is that just something on your mixer, or is that an actual like plug-in?
No, it's I have a vocal processor. It's a looper, guitar processor, processor all in one.
I've been able to make I got this Behringer like 12-channel mixer, and I've been able to occasionally find one of those fancy things that have a lot of buttons on them, and I push them and it'll do that, you know?
Right.
I don't know how to do it again. So that said, nice to meet you, everybody. And those of you I know, lovely to see you again. Yeah. And that said, like, do you know a lot about audio engineering?
Me? No,
yeah.
I play guitar and sing.
Oh, okay. Well, you still probably know more than me. I'm just trying to get somebody, if you know anybody that could help me tweak my noise gate and, you know, my EQ a little bit. But
well,
you know, I don't want to interrupt your conversation.
No, I kind of know some, like, what's going on?
Well, let's do it. We can do another time. I don't want to hijack, you know, the hangout, but
I feel you.
You know,
that's what Happs is always. What I'm experiencing. You know, people helping people. So
I love it.
Hey.
So,
I mean, like, what you got going on? Is it cutting out on you before you're done?
Well,
like saying what you have
I think the gate's not. Hold on a second. Oh, my mixer just disconnected. Hang on a second. The gate's not too bad. I think.
Pull back on the threshold of it. And less threshold, more attack.
That's better.
And it'll take the abrupt stop off of it. It'll allow
gotcha.
Sound through.
Okay. So, all right, let me mess with that.
That's what I usually do with my guitar. When it stops before I want it to stop, I cut back on the threshold. And I bump up the attack a little bit.
Bump up the attack? Oh. Yeah, we'll see. You know what? I'm going to leave it like that. And now we'll see like how some of the background noise plays out. So thank you, because I didn't even know that interplay between the two. So that's super helpful, because like I learned to live in a linear world. And though I can write linearly. But yeah, a lot of this stuff I just can't conceptualize how it works in my brain. So that was very helpful. Thank you, sir.
Absolutely.
I'm sorry. Concerned you got a new American. It's not a private conversation, but they're answering some questions right now. So if you want to leave a question there, Des, he's wanting to see your painting. Concerned American is. So if you can hold up one of your paintings. Sorry to interrupt you there, Rev.
No. Rick. Ocean painting I have here that I'm not even finished with it. You can barely see it right now, but we can go in detail on another show with all the paintings. But then this is the angel painting. Oh, you subbed to me after we were in the A-team. Oh yeah, I went. So you know my brother Floyd. Yeah, sorry. So yeah, that's what I'm working on.
A-team, I pity the fool.
Yeah, we'll talk about deja vu here in a second. Y'all still in the middle of that.
That was my sad Mr. T impression. It didn't work. I was hoping that the not so deep voice would sound like, I pity the fool. There we go. I got to get angry with it.
That was pretty good. That
was great.
Did that help you out, Rev? Was Rick able to?
Oh yeah, it was some top-notch technical support. Seriously, like, because that'll help me play around with it.
Yeah, if you mess around with the parameters of that in itself.
Yeah, that two different like variables there. Yeah,
they work with and against each other at the same time.
Yep. Cool. Yeah, really doesn't sound like it's cutting out too early or too late. One check. Seems like it's okay.
Yeah, it sounds good on this end.
Yeah, I heard you got. I love your microphone too, man. That thing's really awesome.
I got this today. It's $79 at a Guitar Center. It's a AKG P120.
It's got a beautiful sound.
Thanks, man. What I was singing through before was, I was singing through a $250 microphone before, but it's not for vocals. It's for putting to a guitar amplifier and then running that through a PA system. So I always had to be right up on the mic all the time. And now I can, I'm in the room. I can, this is a condenser mic. It's doing what it's supposed to.
Right. Well, I don't like to put a lot of, this baby, you got to have a cloud lifter just to get it, started. Mm-hmm. So I don't like to put a lot of gain in the mic because I've got a 7-year-old that he could be making noise at any time, anywhere.
Right.
So this thing, actually, I tell you what, if anybody's looking for a really good mic that has a lot of rear and side deflection, the Rode Procaster's really good. But this mic too, it rejects sound because it's just straight up and down this tube, So yeah, it's really groovy.
Sorry, see now I'm not used to this mic yet, and I just took a drink and made all kinds of lip smacks, and I gotta get used to that stuff. I'm so used to having to be right on top of the mic.
Eric and I know each other. Rick, we've just met, and I've been avoiding these amazing people below me here. And how are you? Nice to meet you.
Well, thanks. Nice to meet you too. We know each other about High Street, remember?
Oh yeah, you're right.
Yeah, that's
oh my
me.
Goodness, that was you. Awesome. Oh, I love it. Oh my gosh, very cool. High Street, German Village, University. Yeah. No, I'm sorry, the Ohio State, not Ohio State, the Ohio State University. Yeah, wow. And when I lived in Ohio, I think there were more cops than citizens. Is it still like that?
I can believe that. Yeah.
Oh my God, it's horrible. It's like they got one cop for every 2 people or something. It's kind of Nazi-esque and scary.
I'll be right back, you guys. I'll be right back.
Okay. But I know a lot of those cops are for the drunks on the Ohio State University campus on a Friday and Saturday night. So that's how that goes.
True. Mm-hmm.
And my nature as an inquisitive host. So Desiree, is that right?
Yep, that's it.
Cool. Nice to meet you.
Yeah. Nice to meet you too.
Yeah, very nice to meet you. It's like 12:58 in Chicago. I think the time's going to change in 2 hours, and it'll come back, and so I'll be all confused for about a week.
Oh, I thought we were springing forward.
Wait, we are. Oh, we are. Spring ahead, fall back. It's just when you get to be my age, you'd never tend to spring ahead.
I think mine's about to change right now.
Oh yeah, let's watch it live. Countdown.
You're in Chicago?
I am in Chicago, yeah.
I'm around Peoria.
Who, you are? Peoria?
Yeah.
Oh, oh my gosh, we could wait a minute. Let me yell out the window. See if you can hear me. Yo!
3 hours away from you.
Yeah. Well, sound travels.
Definitely. It's so cool.
It's so cool. We're talking through this series of tubes on the interweb with each other live like this. In 1995, you could have never imagined that we could do this, but we could send text, slowly.
Slowly.
It's like, wait a minute. Don't type too many characters. It's not going to come back very fast. Oh, I have to say this too. Wow. I'm tired, high, and having fun. So the LOL, right? We all know what it means. We don't have to say it. We all know what it means. But my friend, Albert Fernandez, I don't remember the day, but I remember the moment. I'm on my computer, and Al and I are using probably, Oh, it could have been. What would the chat program have been? Maybe AOL had some kind of chat or something. And he types LOL. And I'm like, LOL, LOL, huh, LOL, LOL. I'm like, and I type back, lots of love. And he's like, no, laugh out loud. And that's the first time I had ever seen LOL. I can remember the first time. It's crazy. Yeah. Must only been like a week old at that point.
Yeah, I was just talking to Eric about like little abbreviations like that because when it first started off when I was 16 years old, and I had a flip phone. I was like,
a flip phone.
Yeah, flip phone.
People today would be like, "You mean it did flips? Wow!"
Yeah, they like flipped around and like had a keyboard. I wanted one of those so bad.
Oh,
I never got one.
Thank you, Emma, for the high five award. Let me know if you want to come up.
ICQ. Did it really even have? Oh, wow. ICQ. You know, I bet I still have an ICQ account. Can I check? Oh, my gosh. Yeah. Badges. What's up? I put you in the schedule, Badges, twice. So check it out. Because on Mondays at that noon through Thursday slot, we need something there. Sorry. TCB.
Wow, your voice is so clear. It feels like you're next to me talking to me.
Yeah.
Don't turn around.
Great setup.
Desiree, don't turn around. I might be closer than you think. She's like, shit, he really sounds like he's close. Well, I got to tell you, if I don't have this fancy mic, let me turn it off for a second.
Hi, Emma.
It's all in the microphone. It's got nothing to do with me. You pay big money for a microphone, it does a lot for you. Ooh, I'm having fun. You guys are fun. You know, this is great. Probably because you're just listening to me. Oh my god.
You're thank you, Emma. Thank you.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, you've got a great voice.
Cool people
Rev.
in here.
I mean,
thank you, man.
Your mic, it just kind of brings it out even more.
Yeah, this thing is it's designed to just, it's amazing. I think Michael Jackson recorded, he was the first music artist of any note to record an album on it, you know, and it's actually a pretty old microphone. Came out in the 70s, but it's still going strong.
I'm right behind you, Batman.
Someone, Kilima said badges. We don't need no stinking badges.
I know.
Then badges goes, oh, you need this badges.
See, I always feel like I can't do that badges thing anymore because of like political correctness. Before political correctness, I could nail that thing. You know what I mean? Like, it's a fun line, but I'm not sure if I can do it anymore. So 54-year-old white men are very confused these days. So is it a Sennheiser? It is a Shure SM7B. But Sennheiser makes some good mics. And yes, this is an amazing room. It would be even more amazing if you came up here, Emma, but I saw that you can't, so that's fine. Badges?
Yeah, she came up earlier on Michael's, and it was a beautiful experience.
See, that's what I get for leaving. And I didn't see your invite earlier, so I apologize that I didn't come in sooner, but
no, you're fine. You're fine. I always throw it up there if nobody responds. I know that people got things going on. They may not be fully clothed. They might be in the bed, whatever, you know.
I mean, I haven't been fully clothed from the waist down since last March, basically.
Yeah, Concerned American, you can definitely message me on Facebook, and we'll if you're open to a Reiki treat, like Reiki healing, I'll send you information and stuff, and we can exchange energy. So I'm unable to do Reiki right now because I've done so many readings and stuff. I'm just kind of
and you're totally not interrupting anything.
No.
On the deja vu thing, if you're having a lot of deja vu, I'll just go ahead and throw it out there. Deja vu, it's like it's a calling. It's a precursor. So a lot of people think, oh, I'm having deja vu. Everything's, whatever. But what it's really doing, it's like your subconscious is calling to you. And so, when you have those moments and you think, oh, I've done this before, if you just start asking questions, you start having a conversation with yourself and your subconscious. And what you'll end up finding out is those are dreams that you've had before. And you've already seen these things happen. So it's kind of like seeing the future, if you will. And so once you start going into that, like Desiree, she keeps a dream journal. I keep a dream journal. It's really important to start that dialogue with your subconscious. So even the nights that you may not dream anything, just go ahead and write down, I don't remember my dreams tonight, because that's very important. Your body knows what you're saying to yourself. Even when we joke, sometimes it doesn't know when we're joking. So, it will appreciate you appreciating it, and it'll start to give you more details, and you might start to have further insights in your waking conscious as well. And Emma says she just had deja vu. That's amazing. I love to hear that, Emma, especially after tonight, because you brought me so much deja vu, and I don't even really like to call it deja vu, because like I can remember sometimes the year that I had the dream. Not always. Sometimes they're fuzzy. Sometimes they're really clear. Sometimes I don't remember it until I'm seeing you in real life. But sometimes I remember it before, and I bring it up to the person, and then that stuff happens. But yeah, that's your spiritual nature. We're getting into the woo here, but that's trying to come out. It's trying to get your awareness, and so that's really what deja vu does. It's so hard to explain, but when I have really intense deja vu, it gives me seizures now. Yeah, Des was kind of talking about some things that kind of relate to that. So sometimes when we experience energy, or we have a perception that we're not totally in alignment with, it can create a disturbance in our body. And that's another form of our body trying to get a hold of our attention and telling us how severe it is, and so that it's much more of a higher priority for you, if you can start reading your energy, to start trying to ground that energy. And by keeping a dream journal, that can start to ground your deja vus or enhance them. I have to pop but I'm on the ground, and I use lots of CBG and tinctures. Okay. Is there a way to join the chat, just audio? Yeah, if you want to join Happs, it's pretty easy to join, and you can come in to the room, and I don't have to put you on the screen, and we can just hear your voice. That way you can relax your fingers, and yeah, we can do that. Randy Horton's in the house. Hello, Randy.
Well, it's also
Snow,
like
hello.
Deja vu is like Badges was just saying, it's a glitch, like also like a glitch in a matrix in a way, because like you're finding out that the matrix is like this whole game system in a way of like, electrons and neutrons, like all spaced and created. So it's like you're knowing that you're creating this. So it's like all glitching at the same time, but then dimensionally, like you could be astral traveling at the same time while being alive at that same moment. While, so we're going like way deep in a loop. Now I'm pixelated on the screen. So
that was weird. And Eric's box turned green, but he was still on the other screen. Did you see that? Anybody else see that? The whole entire box turned green, and then it had like a little. There it went again. The
computer's like, we can't handle the energies. It's just too much. We're giving her all she's got.
Yeah, every time when we start talking about stuff like this, it just as soon as we go deep in the woo.
I gotta bust out more of this oil. I gotta rub some more of this oil on my forehead.
We're gonna have to get Rick to ground us here in a minute with a good song. But concerned citizen, if you want to join Happs, that's one of the beautiful things about this application. You can come in and join the conversation.
I've been talking for 5 minutes and nobody's been hearing me. I'm like, what's wrong with you people?
She always calls you out.
And yes, Badges always reminds me.
Yeah.
I did the same thing.
People know that. That's bad.
Every time I've watched her stream, she's always the one be like, hey, you're muted. And I do the same with Eric.
I'm never touching the effing mute button again. Damn it.
like tonight, concerned
not
citizen.
To do while broadcasting. That's our next show.
Yeah, is
it the first time that I've seen you, Takara? I think this is the first time I've seen you, right? Correct me if I'm wrong.
Probably. Yeah.
Yeah, I think we talked the other day, but like right now, when Takara got on live, I was having deja vu because I've seen her in my dreams with this nice big open whatever you call it, like from one room to the other right behind her, and I'm just like fascinated. I keep looking at her and I'm like, yes, my dreams are coming true. We are creating all this stuff.
I love it.
But who is? Which one of us?
Chick.
All of us, baby.
All of us together? Really?
Oh yeah.
Oh, okay,
yeah,
wait a minute.
Eric,
Eric, hold on. I've got control right now. Would you like wait a minute. No, wait a minute. Somebody give me more hair, please. If this
I don't have mine long enough yet. I'd share.
Eric has the hack on growing hair.
Yeah, all right.
He shaved this morning. I'm just saying, he shaved this morning.
Yeah. Well, he dreams deep. For sure, man. That is way to go. Yeah. I love it. Wait, so no deja vu. Well, wow, this isn't your show, Revolution, but go ahead. Or after, or neither, or we don't know.
So is deja vu before or after or neither? That's a good question, and it can be both. You can have deja vu of stuff after it happens. That's more of like a vision, but deja vu is usually when you're in your conscious waking state and you experience something that you're like, oh my gosh, I've done this before. What is going on? That's why they call it deja vu. You're like, what is going on? And so younger in my life, I had this all the time, and I started asking myself, I was like, what is going on? What is up with this? Like, what is up with this? And then I started getting answers by having dreams and actually remembering the dream. So when I had the deja vu, it was no longer like, what's going on? I could remember the dream, how I woke up that morning, what the dream was about. And I've met like 100 people at this point in my life. Like I had dreams in 2015 of this guy, Michael V. Go check him out on Twitch, and he took us on his GoPro one day and gotten on this bus, and he's walking and getting on the bus. I'm like, oh my God, here we go. And it was like literally like 15 minutes worth of GoPro footage that I had a dream. And then he went to the next part, and he's coming back from this park, and I'm like, if he stops under a bridge and looks up at the top of the bridge with the GoPro and we see paintings under the bridge, this guy is like my soul brother. And that's what happened. So it can go really deep. That's why we're saying we're going deep into the woo right now. Deja vu is like, it's like the cusp of it. Like Des is saying, it can be that glitch in the matrix just to allow you to know, hey, there's more out there.
So what?
But depending on how long you've been experiencing this, it can, you got some work to do with the seizures and things like that. Okay, I'm missing a lot of the comments there. Sorry.
There's a lot of comments.
Here's a question for you, Eric. So, when the deja vu ends, like for me, I used to have that a long time ago. But I don't have that anymore. I don't have the deja vu thing. Like like really at all anymore. I get more of the dreams. Is that the spirit's way of saying, all right, we've notified you and you understand. Now here's the next step.
Yeah, so that takes us way down into the woo. So okay, if everybody's okay with me answering this question at this point,
I'm ready.
Here we go.
I'm ready, brother.
Suit,
I am
okay?
ready. I'm
like,
ready to
put
hear
on
this.
something rubbery and slick. There you go. Like pull it right over your head because
yeah.
you're going to get sludged in it.
Yeah, get your coconut oil out.
Wow.
So okay, so this is big, and sometimes I really like maybe should just shut my mouth. But I'm being asked a question, and we got 227 views right now, and that adds up to 11. So that's the first master number, which is self mastery, and that's what we're talking about here. So Rick has had a lot of dreams where he's going deep into the woo. So here's the deal, everybody. I hate to burst the bubble to everybody that's not gone as deep as Rick has. There's a thing, maybe we'll start here. Has anybody in the house heard of the Akashic Records?
Oh, we're going deep in the hole.
No, I haven't.
So the Akashic Records are supposedly like, this, like we think of this computer and the Matrix and it's all this information. So the Akashic Record is like the history of everything, okay? And then you also hear different philosophies where like the past, the future, and everything is happening right now. So the future is happening right now. So where does that mean we are? Where does that mean the past is happening? Well, it's happening right now too. So we are looking at the world through a perspective. We're in the now moment. Some people call it zero pointing. And so here's the thing. Before you come into this life, like we all sat down at a table and I was like, hey, everybody, I need somebody to have this experience with me. And we need to all have this experience and we all be in agreement that we can talk about this here tonight. And y'all came over to my table and like, you know what? This sounds like a cool fucking experience. I think I'm down for this experience. And so y'all put your name on my piece of paper and I put my name on your piece of paper. And when we came out the womb, we forgot everything. And so it would be no fun if we came in here and we remembered everything. But what deja vu is, like I'm saying, it's kind of like a precursor to go deeper within yourself. And so what you have a point at doing is having access to remembering what you already know, what you already signed up for. You've come into this life to have certain experiences that are going to change you. Your soul needs that to grow, to evolve. And so some of those experiences might be in a car accident and lose a leg. Some of those experiences might, be this, that, or the other. But ultimately, that's what we're doing. Like Des said, we're in a video game. This is a game. And when you can really look at life like that, you can really take a hold of the wheel. You can take that joystick and you can do the 3,700 hit combo and knock it out of the park if you want to, if that's your destiny. But that's where the ego comes into effect. If you're trying to go against what your destiny is, might be a hard knocks life.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So yeah, when you start seeing those things, Rick, you're accessing what is to be for yourself.
Okay.
And the Akashic Records is the 8th dimension. So just to put that out there. 8th dimension.
It's always happening.
I've always wondered why, like, as a youth, I had the deja vu thing, and then as I grew, like, I mean, I almost grew out of it, like, I don't know, 16, 17 years old. Stopped having those and started having more of the dreams, more of
the premonitions and things.
Yeah, more of the, like, all right, this is going to happen between 2 and 6 weeks. That was my little time frame and generally most of the stuff I dream about happens in 2 weeks. It's kind of weird.
I've got like the 3-6-9 thing going on. It can be like 3 weeks, 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, 3 years, 6 years, 9 years, 30 years. I mean, I've literally had some dreams about people like 30 years ago.
Wow.
Yeah, concerned citizen says, so I just did that and I had to create an account. Oh, okay, she's talking to Des.
Yeah, I'm talking to them on my YouTube.
Yeah, I know you're like multitasking. I'm so proud of you. You're like ahead of the game. Yeah, you're showing off over there.
Like, wow, I can't
Your
even.
picture is mighty clear too. Yeah, I saw you.
I know because I went out and I came back.
I saw that.
Now that everybody knows that I can't control anything on here, yeah, I don't know. I have a quick question. The dreams. Okay, so when my grandfather died, after he died, I had a dream. He hung out every night for a year, like solid. We just hung out together. It was awesome. And so we'd gone back a year after, his death to go down and see my grandma and I think put up the headstone or something. I can't remember. But my dad and I we're leaving town, heading back up to Chicago. And we're both filling up our cars. And I'm like, this is kind of, I don't know if what you're going to think about this, but every night for the last year, because we'd been talking about his dad, and my God, we both missed him still a lot. And I said, every night for the last year, your dad has showed up in my dreams. He's like, mine too.
Oh.
It was awesome. You know what I mean? Like, and Grandpa still shows up once in a while, not as often as he used to, but it was just so wide. Like, me having him every night for a year, interesting, coincidental, whatever. But my dad having every night for a year, I'm like, ooh, mind blown. That's different level there, You
can't deny it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah, and I don't believe in coincidence anymore. I don't believe in anything because believe has a lie in the middle of it. But synchronicity is the word I like to use with it. And so the fact that y'all were both having those dreams, that really quantifies and validates that, hey, I'm not crazy. This isn't a fluke. It's not my imagination. There's some kind of communication going on here, a reassurance, if you will.
So, yeah, that's interesting because my friend Brian Dunning, who I'm on his, he's this podcast called Skeptoid, and then on Tuesday nights at 7 my time, so like 8 Eastern, I'm on his clubhouse. I'm like one of his co-hosts, and it's a skeptical group. But so Brian might say that we could actually come up with the probability of how likely that possibility would happen. I mean, it's actually quantifiable, and it's a little way heavier than just when somebody dreams about someone and you find out they were died at the moment that you dreamed about it. That can seem like a very powerful thing, but also you can work it out with how many people are on the planet, how many times you might dream. So, but my point is, for me, what spirituality is, and I'm all science. I mean, I was just Dr. Hooper, the theoretical physicist who you all should know if you don't. And I just jumped into my room earlier today and we hung out for a couple of hours talking about dark matter and that kind of stuff. And it was great. But my representation of spiritualism is usually pretty different than most people because for 3 million years to become from proto-human to human took about 3 million years or so. And during that time, there was selective pressure and forces that, something really weird just happened. Hang on. Well, there's a lag, so let us know.
Hello?
No, it was the audio. The audio, not yours in general. It's the app. Every once in a while, the app
does something weird.
Yeah, like a bad Burger King order.
Yeah, some digital things. So anyway, I'll try to make this quick.
Yeah, we can hear you. We have a new person that joined, but yeah.
Okay, I need to mute my mic or something. I'm sorry.
You're good.
No, you're fine. You're fine. You're fine.
So spirituality, selective pressure, evolution. Your partner gets eaten by a lion, and you're bummed. You're freaking out. It's horrible, and because you're so despondent and freaked out and not able to cope, that lion eats you too, right? So you're done. Like, you're not passing on your DNA because you can't handle the fact that there was some great loss or something. But the person that does, that picks up and moves, those are the people that then move forward through evolution. So those people start to use totems and items of mystical value they toss them into a grave. And that feeling of spirituality, whatever you want to call it, but that feeling of spirituality allows them to process the grief. And again, in our little example, not get eaten by the lions, and they move on. And so then we're these 3 million years in the making, deeply spiritual creatures. But I look at my spirituality from purely a scientific point of view. I know I'm a spiritual being, and I know why from a scientific context. But the cool thing about that for me is it's just as spiritual as any other journey, because I feel the spirituality. I get there through a different means than some other people. But at the end of the day, who's to decide? Because any scientist will tell you can't disprove something, right? I mean, there's no way we can ever prove that there's no God. Like, you can't, right? So God could prove there was a God. He could come hang out tomorrow, and I'd have a lot of questions for him. But so you can't do that. So my spirituality is deep. When I was homeless, things happened to me that can't even, and I'm about science, but that can't even be explained by anything that were a part of my journey from homelessness to where I am and everything. So I dig this spiritual conversation, and I just want to put it in a little bit of context of how I see spirituality, because I think people will come to some of my broadcasts and be like, wait, that dude's all science-based. And I'm like, man, spirituality is groovy. I don't really care where it comes from. I just enjoy it.
Thank you for that, Rev. I really appreciate everything that you brought to this. Like Michael said earlier, this is a beautiful 5 represents as a number spirit to me, and so the 5 of us that are on screen, and no ill to Raw Duke there. I know you're coming in and out, so we look forward to when we get to talk to you. But I love exactly what you said there. I mean. And that's the beautiful thing about people here on this planet. We all came here to have different experiences. Some people came here to totally never sign up and never know and not, because like even in a movie, Batman, we were talking about Batman earlier, got brought up because he was like right behind Dez's head,
Good night, Brenda.
Good night, Brenda. Brenda, thank you for everything you do for me on my broadcast. I love you a lot.
Sleep well, Brenda.
Thank you, Brenda, for coming in and joining us.
Rick,
thank you for sharing your love.
Rick, am I getting it low enough? Am I getting that dialed in really well? Or I'm twisting the knob myself.
When I talk in the Barry White voice,
I'm
I talk
twisting
like
twisting it. Okay, sorry. That's with no, that's all me. That's just pure me.
That's all straight bass from the heart.
Yeah, baby.
Yeah, like Brad says, I came for pizza. You know, I mean, that's really
Yeah,
what
Rick, where's the pizza? Yeah.
I was waiting for y'all to come on, and I ate it.
Oh.
I had a half a pizza here. I had a half
Oh,
a
man.
pizza, and I was gonna
Rick?
cut it into like 8 slices because they were big slices.
Where are you in the world, man?
Rick?
Where are you? Where are you on the planet?
Me? I'm
Yeah.
Richmond, Virginia.
He's like, why? Why are you asking where I am?
Richmond, Virginia.
Richmond, Virginia. Damn.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, no pizza run, dude. Sorry.
Yeah, we're closed.
Yeah.
All right, Raul, Duke, can you hear us?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Wow. Okay.
We'll give you the floor here. I know you've been wanting to talk to Dez, so.
Okay. So good evening, first of all, and I appreciate you letting me come on. And
Oh no, absolutely, it's my pleasure.
so let me explain kind of what's been happening. To keep a long story short, about 2 months ago, I started having really bad deja vu. Not really bad, but my experience was very uncomfortable. It was the first 2 times it happened in 1 week. It happened while I was driving, so I had to pull over and I stopped and I was like, "What is going on?" And it was just I couldn't remember exactly what it was that I was remembering, but so then those 2 happened, and then the next week I had really intense deja vu in the morning. I used the restroom, and then I could remember my dream. It was like it was so intense, like that when I was remembering it, it caused me to have a seizure, and I like my head got split open on the toilet. So then the next day, same thing happens, except the first seizure that I had. I'm sorry, I'm jumping back and forth right now. I'm very
No, it's the way it goes. You're fine.
So that first seizure, what it did, I can hear myself screaming, "No, no, stop, stop." And I can feel my head bouncing off the toilet. Bink, 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 and I can hear it actually too. And what brought me back was the last one was like boom, and I split my eyebrow on the toilet. So we go into the next day. First, I called my mom, and she brought me. I have the CBD oil with CBG in it, and it helps very well. Like when this first happened, I couldn't even complete a sentence properly. I wasn't able to walk right. It was weird. I put that CBG oil under my tongue, and instantly, like my CB1 and CB2 receptors started working properly. I came back too, you know. She also brought me a Rick Simpson oil, one of those half-gram syringes. It's a sublingual that you put under your tongue. So I took half of the first day because I knew it was. Oh, not to mention my father has epilepsy, so we're going into day 2. I already took a 1/4 milligram of the RSO, the Rick Simpson oil. The next day, same thing happens. I use the restroom, and as I'm washing my hands, I start to have a seizure again. But I'm walking, and I can hear myself yelling, "No, no, no!" But I can feel my arms like flailing around, and I'm like punching, and I had bruises on my hands and stuff. And when I came back to, I'm at the top of my stairs yelling, "No, no, no!" I was about to jump down the steps, and I came back to right there, and I'm like, "Whoa!" So same thing. I take my medication. I go downstairs, and I'm trying to figure out how am I gonna not have a seizure on day 3. So I took the rest of that RSO. I take some more CBG oil. I'm feeling fine. And I also have a grounding blanket. So I plug that in and I sleep on my grounding blanket. Day 3, no seizure. But now I can feel when they're coming. And to stay on top of it, what I do, I literally have to go on the ground, and I put my butt on the ground and I sit down on the ground. Or like if I don't do my normal grounding where I'll go outside with my bare feet and I'll put contact on the grass, and I try to like squint my eyes when it's not too bright out and try to get the colors that are refracting into my eyes so I can naturally release that serotonin. But yeah, now when they come, like I can feel them, like, and I was looking at the word etymology of seizure, and it's like a possession. So, you know, I'm spiritual. I believe in God. I believe in Christ. Like, and this is crazy for me because like when they start coming, I literally say no, and like immediately I just think of the Father and like, please help me. I say no. I rebuke it, but I have to put my butt on the ground, and yeah, I'm staying very medicated, and that's what I've been looking for. You know, because they have all different kinds of drugs with crazy side effects, but I'm finding out that my medication's working pretty well. But yeah, I'm sorry to hog your phone line, your the conversation, but that's what I'm dealing with right now. And so like in my past when the deja vu was happening, it was just like I would call it my nausea. It gives me my deja vu nausea, and I used to say I was like deja vu phobia, but now it's like when I focus too much on it, it literally, I don't know, it's weird. Any reaction, any comments? Am I still there? Can you guys still hear me?
No, you're good. I completely feel you because I've actually had that happen to me my entire life.
Wow.
So, yeah, you're talking to Des here. So, Floyd's sister. And you know, that's the hardest thing, is having to control them and to be able to figure out where the root cause of the whole entire situation is coming from. So mine was around my real dad, because he had a really, really dark energy about him. And you know, like when I'm around dark people, or like not people, like, you know, I don't call people demonic or anything, because it's not like what I'm, you know what I mean. But it's like, you know, everybody has that energy about them, and you can sense it. And then when I'm around them, I do have that deja vu feeling, and I instantly go, like, I have to either eat something, I have to go out and ground, or I have to get away from them, like 100%. So this is like, man, this is like a test for you, in a way, for you to find out for your spirituality, for you, what things work out for you, how you're able to control them, who you're hanging out with, what you're doing in life. And you know, this is like a flip around for you in some sort of a way, because I've had them up till last year, and I've been controlling them through eating, like, say, keto diet, or like more protein, and, you know, food like that. So I do take CBD oil, and I don't take any medications now. I'm actually 100% off the medications. So I had to, yeah. So it's transmitting the dark energy. Maybe you have a lot of shadow energy, or something that you've had to transmute, or something that you went through when you're in, like, a young person, like a young one, you know, because that's what I've had to do, is go deep within my childlike energy, because it's like a childlike, your child is being triggered, or something in your brain is being triggered for you to have those attacks. So it also gears towards, we're having lots of earthquakes, like super big earthquakes here lately. The Schumann resonance has been exploding, like, lately, like sometimes off the charts. So it has 100% to do with the human body, and you could be downloading a lot of information from a lot of sources that is, like, you know, if you're trying to get away from all the everything lately, you know, getting away from TV, getting away from, you know, everything, and just finding yourself again.
Yeah, that's because I, you know, to say how staying away from TV, because I was watching television, not TV, I don't watch TV. I was on the YouTube and, you know, my channels and the things that I'm interested in. It was nonstop 24/7. And this Lent, I'm Catholic, so I observe Lent, and what I did is I gave up television during the day. So, I mean, I still listen to my music and stuff, but when I was waking up, sleeping to it, falling asleep to it, hearing it all the time, I think those wave patterns, like you said, are abrupting. Then also, yeah, I'm going through a lot of changes right now. Just a rough past, and we don't have to get too much into detail, but yeah,
we can talk. Add me on Facebook. We could totally chat if you want.
Yeah, I did just add you. I don't know if you saw me.
Yeah, I didn't want to speak earlier, but Des, she's had these things dealing with them all life. So you've ran into one of the best souls you could run into to help you through this time, and that's the beautiful thing, the connections, the communication. And so thank you for being forthright and coming on here and being open with everybody so they can hear your story and hear Dez's response to you. I mean, my heart's out to you, brother.
Yeah, I appreciate you. It's hard for me to like. I've never, when I even start to talk about deja vu or a seizure with someone, they're just like, "Yeah, that's weird." That's the you get a sympathetic response. No one has empathy. They're like, "Oh, that's weird." Well, at least you're not blah blah blah. It's like, okay.
Well, the thing
But
is with that, it's like an out of body experience. Like you're being pushed out, and it's just like whoa, 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 no. Like it's like no, I want to be here. And it's like your mind gets fuzzy, and things start feeling weird. Your arms get numb, things start feeling awkward, and it's just like, when you get down to it, and you're able to control it and the feeling and everything. When that starts coming on, grab an orange, grab something, because that's when my blood pressure is going really low or spiking really low too. So grab food, grab protein, grab something that's tangible that will bring you back down automatically, because I get the throwy uppy feeling, and that's when I have to eat something. So, or like soup that'll automatically get in your body and like really help you within like 15 to 30 minutes. So yeah, when that starts happening, I feel you on that. I feel you.
hey, Des, to add to that, just one more thing. I'm sorry to when I looked in.
No, don't apologize. You're beautiful right now.
So thank you. So I was looking into it because, like, for me, a seizure is a override of electrical impulses from the brain, basically hijacking the muscles, telling them, "Hey, this is what we're doing right now." Boom. And so I thought, I'm like, well, what about if, like you said, the oranges? What I did, I chewed on a lemon, and it had something electrical, and it, like, I'm not gonna say it. It worked. You know what I mean? It got me like to where I could think normal again, to where I could call my mom, and I was like, "What happened?" She's like, "Well, she's asking me what happened because I called her, and I'm like not able to talk right, and I'm just like being weird on the phone." And I was like, "I don't know what happened, blah blah blah." But I ate that lemon, and then I was able to communicate. And it's like we're electrical beings and we're spiritual beings, and it's just like you said, if we turn off the TVs and we find the source and the real, the power within that comes from God, and we like this. I don't even know what to say right now. I'm just happy to talk to you guys, and I appreciate this. Like, this is awesome.
Well, we're one, So whatever you're going through, there's a lot of other people going through it too. So, lemons, they have alkaline. So when you drink alkaline water, or when you put like lemon in your water, like I do it like in my smoothies in the morning, and it helps me boost up really quick. So yeah, definitely watch your diet, because it's probably something that is triggering it too. So watch your diet. Try to eat more protein if you can, more protein and vegetables. So that really helps me out.
And one more thing to add, my dog Duke, he he's actually like he's aware of it. He knows when they're coming, is what I'm trying to say. He'll come and sit right next to me, and like when I know they're coming, I'll sit on the ground, and like he'll just sit on my lap, and he's like, "All right," like. So I want to give props to my dog too. And
what kind of dog is he?
he's a mix. He's Jack Russell mixed with Chihuahua.
Oh, nice.
I like to call him my super mutt. He's got like, and he looks like he's got a little miniature pin in him too, like that brownish color.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
Dogs know, animals know. I got birds, and they're really, really sensitive to energy. They let me know when things are going on.
Yeah.
Yeah, most definitely. Connect with us on Facebook. I'll accept your request, and we'll definitely chat. We'll do some meditations or something if you're open to it, or or something, and we'll chat.
Yeah, thank you. And also, I don't know if you ever heard about like the healing frequencies. I'll listen to a 432 before I go to bed, and just to it's like the healing frequency, the love frequency, 432.
Oh yeah, that's me every day. What I do is I go on YouTube and I look for the chakras healing, and it starts with the root chakra and it builds up for a whole hour for you. So whenever you're going through that like spurt of energy, eat a grounding food, sit on the ground or whatever, or cuddle up or whatever, and then turn on the grounding music. Or I'll send it to you when we start talking, and it will help you. Definitely.
Thank you very much, and much love, and God bless you all. I appreciate you listening to me and allowing me to listen to you.
Thank you. Much love to you, brother. Much love.
Much love.
Oh, we lost Rick. Come back, Rick.
Turned off his video. Rick, it is okay to go to sleep.
Yeah, you can go to sleep, brother.
Poor Rick. Rev, I think you're muted, brother.
Yep.
Oh, wait a minute.
Right. Nope. I did it again. I think Badges is hopefully asleep, though. Or did somebody just say we could? Oh my God, Badges is still here. Oh, geez.
She said muted as fuck.
Fuck. Yeah, that's what she said. Wow. Wait, I got to screenshot that. Hang on a second.
I love her. Oh my gosh,
Badges.
she's always on you.
Badges is right. Isn't Badges the best co-host ever?
I love it. Yeah.
Yeah, she's awesome. I love her to death. That smart ass. Sorry, did I say that out loud? I love you, Badges. There we go. Muted as fuck. That one's in the record book there. Did I hear somebody say that we could go to bed? Really? I thought that was like, I didn't know we could. Like, shit. I've been here for, this has been fun, but I've been here longer than I would have if I didn't known we can actually go to bed whenever we want. So, no, I am seriously, I'm going to go to bed. This is great. How often do you guys get together and hang out?
Every night.
Every night? Yeah, don't tell me that because I need to get sleep. But let's see, Tuesdays. These guys hang out sometimes on Tuesdays. Okay, great. So I'll check in once in a while. All right.
I'm here Monday, Wednesday, and Friday currently.
Gotcha.
Things will be going
like a schedule.
Forward, but Des is here
all the time.
Cool. She does art as well, so check her out. She does some amazing art.
Yeah. I was on Bobby Bicker today. Woo, woo.
You were? Wow. Yeah. Holy cow. That's like the Bobby Bicker experience. Like,
so
big
exciting.
Deal. Oh. Yeah. Bobby's awesome. I love Bobby. Rev is sleeping and astral projecting. I am. Right.
He is, right?
I'm going to wake up. So you people are going to disappear. So, I hope you had fun. And I will see you maybe Tuesday. Because that's when you're on.
Nice chatting with you.
Once in a while. Nice chatting with you too. Like, I really like when, like, Desiree, like, you've been watching my program, it appears, occasionally, or Badges and I, right? But have we ever interacted, like, on the chat, to me, to you?
I don't think we've ever really interacted.
No, I don't think we have. And I'm wondering why. No, I'm just kidding. But the I love that about Happs. It's like I can come into a room, meet some people, and they're like, yeah, I know who you are. I'm like, how do you know who I am? I don't know who you are. You know what I mean? Like, you could just, it's really wild. Like, somebody starts, oh yeah, you're 6'1". You live in Chicago. You like lemons, lasagna, and I don't know, and yeah,
and deep dish pizza.
Deep dish pizza, yeah. Oh no. Okay, hold on. No. Chicago pizza, it's good, but it's kind of a touristy thing. You wouldn't eat a deep dish Chicago pizza like every week. Yeah, exactly, Lindsay. Just lurkers. Yeah, We know.
Yeah.
And here's what you want to do. If you're in Chicago, or if you're coming to Chicago, and you're only going to be here for a short time, sure, go ahead, have the Chicago pizza, Giordano's, Pizzeria Uno, Lou Malnati's. Those will all give you a good experience. But if you want a good pizza, and I'm not sponsored currently by this pizza place, but I'm thinking maybe they'll give me free pizza if I do this once in a while. So go to get Fat Chris's Fat Chris Pizza. It's Detroit style, and it's like freaking amazing. So like, just try this Detroit style pizza. And now I'm ruining this beautiful spiritual moment with a possible sponsorship. So I will.
No, food's good. All good. Yeah, I'm the foodie. Yeah, I've been to Giordano's and Chicago and had the deep dish. Yeah. Oh,
it's good. Did you have the spinach and cheese, or just what'd you have?
Just a regular cheese, I think.
Just a regular cheese? Yeah. Yeah. It's really good. It is really good. And if you have had Chicago style pizza, then make sure you try like one of the other ones, because they're a little bit different. Like Giordano's has a really nice, very tasty traditional crust, but the crust has a lot of flavor in it. And then what's the one that I like? There's another one that's like got some cornmeal in it. Like, you could go crazy with Chicago pizza. So definitely, anybody wants to come to Chicago and hang out by the lake, 6 to 8 feet away from each other, of course, then please do. Anytime anybody wants to have a meetup in Chicago this summer, head on over, because I'd love to meet as many people as I possibly can. It would be a lot of fun. So thank you guys for hanging out with me, hanging out with you. It's really been fun. And
thank you. Go check out Revolution Machines if you haven't. He's right here. If you're somewhere else, you need to come to Happs. That's where it's at.
Right.
Revolution McKinnis.
It is Revolution McKinnis, yes.
He always says machines.
It's okay, but I don't correct people because it's fun. I don't correct people because it's fun,
Lindsay.
Thank you.
Machines,
You're always saving me.
badges.
Let me take that foot right out of my... Yeah.
Lindsay.
Love you, Eric.
The river did turn green today. They dumped a bunch of green stuff in it, and they turned it green. Yeah, it's very green, bright green. And Raul, peace to you, man. Just good vibes, dude. It was nice to hear from you up here. So much love to everybody. Love. That's the answer right there. Love. You just got to keep it flowing.
So much love. You have a good night.
Yes,
good
you
sleep.
too. All right, everybody. Thanks. We'll see you soon. Good night.
Peace.
Peace be with you, and namaste.
Sweet lucid dreams, my brother.
I'm going to be Superman tonight. You watch.
There you go. There you go. Flying high.
Oh, man. Eric, look at the numbers.
Oh my goodness, 279. That's 9. That's a damn good time. That's like, that's completion, right? 9 completion.
I've got even better. 353.
Oh yeah, and Takara said it was 333 when your friend Duke came up, and I thought that was amazing. Des, oh, how did that feel to be able to? Have somebody that's, right there in the pocket with you.
Oh, man. It's great.
And this is what we've been waiting our whole life to do, is to talk, share, care. Sharon's caring, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm so glad that he got up here and was, willing and open enough to talk about what he's going through. And I really appreciate all the comments over here. Everybody's, super love. Takara, you've been helping out, chatting with everybody over there. I got one good eye if y'all can't see. And the other one's is looking at the screen. McKinnis looks like machines, apparently.
It does. At first, I was saying the same thing.
Well, thank you for making me feel a little bit better.
I think everybody has thought that at first.
Yeah. Oh, really? Okay, thank you. Oh, man. That's good stuff. I love him though. He's great. He's great. He's got a great voice. He's from Chicago. So what I really love about Happs is, we're connecting with people everywhere, man. I mean, I mean, I might know some people from Chicago, but how often do I talk to them, or do I even remember? And it's beautiful.
Yeah.
Tonight's been exceptionally beautiful though. Michael's broadcast, and we come over here and we have a whole nother woo-woo session with people coming in and getting some refreshing advice and help. And I'm beside myself right now. I'm like sitting right next to myself going, it's gonna be all right, Eric. It's gonna be all right. This is a beautiful thing. Yes, thank you. That's what's up, Duke says. I'm gonna just call you Duke, because that goes for you and your dog. I love that your dog is helping you, brother. I mean, not, like Des said, the animals are right there with us if we're open to it, and especially dogs. I mean, we get that a lot. Sunja, connecting people. Yes.
I think it's Sonia.
Oh, Sonia, thank you. Y'all are gonna just have to slap it right into me. You're gonna have to.
It does say.
You're gonna have to come up on screen with me and just speak it, because sometimes I'm like, I gotta hear it. Damn, I'm just gonna shut up.
No.
Say that though, and
thank you so much, Takara. I love it. See, I'm so into the numbers, the letters start to phase out sometimes. No, that's me making excuses. I can't make excuses. Yeah, he's my buddy and my best friend. Oh yeah, he's your soul brother, isn't he?
Oh man, this is great. So great.
Yeah. I can't remember the best time I've had at 3:57 in the morning.
Wait, Eric, where are you? I didn't know you were the same time. Or did I?
I am in Newmarket, Tennessee, but it only allows me to say Jefferson City. So that's about 30 minutes from Knoxville or Sevierville. Where are you at, Takara?
Ohio, Columbus.
That's right. Columbus, Ohio. Mm-hmm. Damn that Columbus.
Damn it.
Oh man. Yeah, we've been on for 2 hours, 2.5 hours now.
2 hours, 25 minutes, and 36 seconds.
So it's about.
Man, it doesn't even seem that long, right?
No, it went by really fast.
It's about time for me to go to bed.
Yep, 4 a.m. for me.
Thank you, Desiree, for coming and joining us. It would not be the same without my sister from another mister. And Takara, I'm so glad you came on here and allowed me to have another deja vu.
Amazing.
Man, today's just been filled with it. I'm on cloud 9. I can't even go to sleep right now, but I will probably end it here pretty soon unless somebody else wants to get up here and shoot the numbers and the hey and the hey and the whatever. But thank you, Desiree, and yeah, next night I'm gonna be on here. I probably won't be on here tomorrow because I got things to do. But Monday night, y'all can.
We have a birthday to plan.
We have a birthday to plan. Okay.
Yeah, we have a birthday to plan. Yeah.
Well, thank you for making this night exceptional. It feels like my birthday already,
Oh.
And so, welcome to the Soul Family, Takara.
Thank you.
You're already a part of it, but now it's official. Are you on Facebook too? Are we friends?
No, I don't have to look you up.
Yeah, look me up, and I'll put you in the Soul Family group too.
Oh, cool. Okay.
Duke says, I am really glad to meet the group tonight. Thanks you, Des, for the great conversation. Isn't she the best?
Well, I mean, Duke, we should put the applause to Floyd, my brother, for connecting us all, really. Without a team, it wouldn't bring us as a team together.
A-team number 1.
Well, A-team is like a platform that they created on YouTube and through other places that, you know, we all connected through political stuff. But Floyd knows my stance on political now, so I'm out of it. But and I kind of went my separate way. But I still support everybody as a loving, as I'm always there for everybody. You know what I mean? So
absolutely,
I still love everybody.
Oh, you're totally welcome, Duke. I love you, man, and thank you for coming up here. I'm glad to be able to let you speak freely with Des tonight. You know, I know that's going to help you sleep better tonight. You know, and that's what it's about, getting that stuff as quick as possible. So yeah, it was my pleasure. I mean, as soon as you started talking about the seizure, I was like, man, he's in the right house. Des is gonna hook you up. You know, you already knew her, but I guess maybe you didn't know all of her story, and so now you get to go deep into the woo with him, brother.
Yeah, it just skipped from 1 a.m. to 3 a.m. I'm looking at the clock and I'm just like, what the fuck just happened? I feel like I'm in
you just time jumped, babe.
Oh my god, yeah, it was like just about like it was 1:59 and all of a sudden it jumped to 3. I'm like, ah! Nope.
1 to 3. What happened to the 2? Who knows?
Oh my gosh, yeah, where's the 2? Yeah, just skipped an hour. All right. Yeah, I gotta go to bed. Get the baby up in the morning for breakfast, you know. So
yeah, I got another soul sister calling me tomorrow. Everybody, I feel like I'm an octopus and I need 3 more arms. So I'll have 11. But yes, I will let you go, Desiree. Thank you so much. I love you.
Virtual hug. You know I love you.
Cara, I love you. Sweet dreams. May they be lucid.
Good night, y'all.
May they be lucid. I love that.
May they be lucid.
Yes, God bless you too, Duke.
Much love.
Sleep well. Thank you. Thank you. Yes, you as well.
Oh, there it is.
Good job. Oh, and we just hit 300 views. We got to 3, and we got to 5. That's 8. No, I'll stop right there. We ain't gotta count the numbers every time.
You're out of here, right?
Yeah, I'll probably sit here for a few minutes and just. Sometimes after these, when I'm just like on a high, I like to just sit here and just gel with it till everybody vamooshes, and then I'll be like, all right, I'm all by myself. I better go. But are you going?
Yeah. I don't know.
I mean, if you got anything you want to talk about, I'll stay here for a little bit longer and talk. But if not, I don't want to hold you here. I'm not going to force anyone to stay.
No, I'm definitely not being forced. I don't think I have any questions yet. I've been here all day, but it's been an amazing day. Like, it's really been a good day. I've enjoyed it.
It really is. I'm glad to see your beautiful smile, and you are absolutely glowing. So to be one of the last faces I'll see before bed, it's a pleasure on my end. And yeah, definitely find me on Facebook. And I haven't been that active in the Soul Family page, but some of the work me and Des are doing, and some of my other soul sisters, there we go again, thinking again. I'm feeling that, things are about to start really taking off on a lot of different levels. And, it was you that was talking about the one, right? We came up with the one and the masculine and the action and everything.
I haven't had anything like that happen since, but I did start the dream journal. And I've been consistent with that, which is like a big deal because I'm not really consistent with much. Like, I'll start something and then stop within like a couple of days. But yeah, that's been going good.
Good to hear. I'm glad to hear you started it. I've been that way too. I started a dream journal a few years ago, and then I was just like, And then Spirit was like, give me this name and this girl, and then I bumped into her, and she talked about how important it was, and I was like, all right, spirit guided me to it. I better pay attention. So it really does help a lot. And sometimes I've found, like even right now, I'm not having a lot of dreams that I'm recalling, and I'm not having a lot of these big prophetic dreams that I've had in the past. Love you. But there are sometimes, dreams can just be like, something that you need to deal with emotionally, or something from your past that you kind of got to deal with and clear out. So I've kind of had some of those more mundane, is what I call them, but they're not mundane. They're important as well. But I'm looking for some big breakthroughs in the dream realm right now. So
yeah,
I think meeting Tiara tonight. I think there's something really big there, and Emma. Oh my gosh, I feel like I'm just getting introduced to more people that are, gonna start launching off from their places of doing, and it's gonna help further my knowledge and my experiences through their experiences. And who knows when we all start meeting up in the dream world, our days are getting busier, and then we can just meet up in the dream world and be like, hey, what's happening? Okay, we got to go do this. Let's go do a job.
Have you came across Shireen yet? Spiritual Gangster?
It's not ringing a bell. How do you, hang on, let me get a clean sheet of paper here. I'm running out of space to take notes here. No. I'm using the back of my number sheet from last night. So, Shireen, is that SHESHIRIN? SHIRIN. Shireen.
Yeah, but her name is on on here and everywhere is Spiritual Gangster.
Okay, spiritual.
She's my absolute favorite. I love her.
Gangster. I will plug her into the search as soon as I sign out and check her out. Yeah.
She goes live on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays.
Okay. So
usually around 2-ish. But it's not
our time.
Yeah, our time.
Okay, cool. I should be able to definitely check her out then, because I do the nighttime streams. Once I get my art room set up, I'll start doing some daytime streams. But for now, I'll leave the woo to the later hours.
Yeah. For some reason, it's in my mind to say that, like, my dream the other day, like, oh my goodness, I saw the most beautiful tree I've ever seen in my life. Like, it was so colorful. It was almost like a weeping willow, and the branches were just a bunch of different multicolored flowers that went all the way down to the ground. And it was in some, like, I don't even know whose house this was, but I don't remember there being a man. There was like some lady's house, and the tree was in her backyard. She had a big backyard, and the tree like circled the whole backyard. But then there was an opening where kind of like
under it.
What'd you say?
Like you walk up under it like a canopy.
Yeah, you could walk underneath and like into it, but the opening like faced like the road so everybody could see. And like the shape of it was kind of like Pac-Man, like like so it was like a circle, but that opening would have been like Pac-Man's mouth.
Yeah.
It was like, it felt so peaceful just to be underneath it. But the tree itself was just so pretty, like all the different flowers. And I remember like the main flower was, I don't really even know much about flowers in order to name them, but I think it was a lily. Like it was bigger, and all the flowers would like bloom and then close back up, and then they would bloom again and then close back up. And then the colors would change, and it was just amazing. Like it was so amazing.
Yeah, thank you for sharing that with me. That sounds very mystical.
Right? Like I was just like, wow.
And as you're saying it, it kind of makes me feel like, some of the transitions that I'm going through right now, you're saying, I hear you saying, the flowers are blooming and then they're closing back and then blooming again. And, like just going from the last show to this show and how like there was such a blooming, blossoming feeling in Michael's show with everybody there. And then it kind of retreated back, if you will, as I, took care of things and then opened up this broadcast, and then it's blooming again, and all the different colors from all the different energies that people are stepping in with. Yeah, the never-ending process of the blossoming and the beauty of nature is a mystical thing.
Yeah, that's amazing. I love that comparison. That makes so much sense.
Yeah. Thank you for sharing it. I have this picture on. I've got a mystical Eric Hypes 33 mystical medium page. Like you can have your like personal page, and then you can have like a business page. And I've got this one tree that's kind of like a weeping willow, and then it's got all this blue energy, and it almost looks like fairy lights or lightning bugs are lighting up all around it, and it gives that mystical feeling. So to hear your description of this, and like, the canopy is kind of being spread open like a curtain or Pac-Man's mouth, and all the flowers. I love that.
I know. I wish I could like draw or paint so I could like draw or paint it.
Well, you say you wish. I mean, have you ever tried to paint or to draw?
Well, certainly not recently. That's for sure.
Well, maybe that dream can inspire you to give it a shot. I mean, for me, I know how it is. Like I was born with some talent. My father was very gifted at drawing, and my mother was gifted as well. Not as much as my father, but still had some talent, if you will. And peace upon your faces. Oh, thank you, Charles. Thank you. And but practice is always what really helps. And I hear people who have not inherited like art talent, and I've seen some just really blow me away how much progress they can make, especially when they've got a passion or something inspires them. So I would maybe say just follow that inspiration and maybe see if you could, because I mean, you've seen it, I haven't seen it, and so you would have a better ability to, and even Van Gogh, when he was losing his eyesight, his paintings were still beautiful, even though they weren't like realistic or whatever. So maybe, because I've found through doing painting and drawing and stuff, it's so meditative state that I was doing some paintings last, I guess it's been, about a year now. I was getting information on one of my soul sister's children that she just gave birth to the other year. So I was like, oh, this is so cool. I'm doing something that one might think it takes so much concentration, but I'm getting all this information about something that's, totally separate in a way too.
Yeah.
Oh, Charles says he spent 30 years thinking he couldn't draw.
Yeah, that's amazing, actually.
Yeah.
Start in your 30s and be awesome at it. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. And two, I mean, sometimes spirit like can like exponentially like expand upon whatever it is that we're investing ourselves in. So you might feel like you can't draw worth a hoot, but then all of a sudden you might sit down to draw one day and draw something and go, oh my gosh, did I just do that? You have one of those aha moments, but it's on the paper with your own doodling, I guess. It's a question of how good they can be. That's true, Charles. Yes.
What age do you think your gift started? Like, or your awakening really was?
Um,
I'm sure the gifts were always there, but
yeah, for me, it was kind of the opposite. I started shutting down at a very young age. I look at some people that have inspired me to move forward with a lot of this. They had the support and they had people to lift them up or to move with them as they moved through it. But 2.5 years old was my first real memories of course, I can remember being born, but
really,
yeah, it was a traumatic experience. My mom says I was like a month late, so I should have been Aquarius, I guess. But the when I was coming out, I ended up banging my head into her pelvis, and so I had like a big I forget what they call it, but like had like a big blister or water thing on my head where it got all swollen, and I was peeing on the doctor's face and the nurse's face, and so I can remember like them trying to touch me and stuff, and I peeing on them, and that was a funny story my mom used to tell a lot. But at 2.5 years old, I started having some nightmares, and I can't say they were like your typical nightmares, but I also started experiencing. I live on 22 acres that my mother purchased here in like it's kind of like old farmland, and it's about 2 miles off the interstate. But we had this big sliding glass door, and we got a back porch there now. But my mom's bed was like right next to that, and so we had back pastures behind us, and I would hear and feel these footsteps like marching towards the house, and it was like single file, like choom, 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 like a group of people marching, and I just got a really scared feeling when that was happening. And then I also and so I would cry and call out for my mom, and she would come back there, but she didn't really know what to do. And she was like, and sometimes my dad would be there, I'd remember, and he was in the Navy, so he wasn't always here. And I can even remember at that young age having the awareness of, I don't want to take my mom and dad's time away from each other. But I was calling out, and I know I was 2.5 because my brother's 3 years younger than me, and he wasn't in the picture yet. And so I then started having experiences with other energies or spirits here that was much different. I was able to talk to them and communicate with them, and they told me some very compelling stories. It was the Indians that lived on the land, Cherokee Indians, and they told me about them having to be forced to leave the land when they were alive and go on the Trail of Tears. And so I felt their emotions and their angers and their frustrations and everything. But once they passed away, they came back here to be back on their homeland. And it wasn't until I got into like preschool or elementary school and I started hearing the teachers teaching about the Trail of Tears, and I was like, whoa, wait a minute. I've already heard this story.
Yeah.
But there was no physical person telling me. But at that point, I also realized that I was hearing other stories about Civil War soldiers. And so the ones that I was fearful of were the Civil War soldiers that were still on this land, the North and the South. And so there's a lot of conflict with them. And so a lot of times growing up, I actually had dreams where, so a lot of my dreams, I'll be in somebody else's body looking through their eyes. And I would see myself on this land, but the land looked a lot different, and I knew that I was looking to shoot someone. And So, yeah, I signed up with fear at a very young age, and then once, of course, I got into school and things, I just didn't have. I already had that embedded fear, and I didn't feel like I could talk to anybody about it. And I had a lot of things happen. Like I came home from kindergarten one day, and I had a goldfish, and my mom had to go out and buy a new one because it had died. She said, "I got one that looked just like it." And she came home, or I came home, and I said, "Mom, where's my goldfish?" And she said, "Well, Eric, it's right there in the tank. What do you mean, where's your goldfish?" I said, "That's not my goldfish." And she was like, "I'll be damned. Well, how the hell does he know?"
Yeah.
And I just recently, in the last 4 or 5 years, started getting beta fish. And my daughter, when I was really disabled, now I've healed up quite a bit, but she went to the store and actually picked it out for me. And when she got it, it was a blue color. And a lot of times when I close my eyes, I see the color blue. And it was very pretty fish, so I called it Magi. I just had this feeling about the fish. Called it Magi. And I had this little log down at the bottom of the tank, and it had like 6 or 7 holes in it. And I shit you not, I could use telepathy with this fish, and I could tell it to go in one side of the log and then tell it to go out a certain hole, and it would do it every single time. And I would switch it up. I'd be like, all right, that could have been a coincidence, right? So now I'll go from the opposite way and come out the other side, come out the left side instead of the right side. And he would do it every time. And I felt horrible because I knew when he was going to die. The last 3 beta fish I've had, I knew exactly when they were going to die. But him, I felt extra bad because he got this thing where he started to sink to the bottom, and his ability to float was lost. And after I did research on the internet, I found out that I needed to take the food pellets and moisten them, because when you just put them in there, they'll eat it real fast, and when it's dry, it can mess up their ballast in their body, and they won't be able to float right. I was like, man, so it was actually kind of my fault. But yeah. So I've been, to answer your question. Sorry, it's so long. I kind of went the opposite way. I've been awake, and I was kind of shutting myself down, and then I would keep having things throughout life that would try to awaken me. So like when I hear people talking about deja vu or this or that, I'm like, hey, okay, all right, this is for you to understand, so that you can kind of develop yourself or awaken, like you're saying, start stepping into that awakening more, because that's kind of what pulled me back from the brink. It was my disability and getting down so low that I was like, all right, what do I do? And then I started meditating and having all these visions, and Spirit was like, you can heal yourself. And I was like, can I? Okay, well, all these times I didn't listen to Spirit growing up, bad things happened. So I was like, maybe now I should start listening.
Right. Wow.
So
is your anybody in your family also super spiritual, or is it just you?
Just me. I'm kind of like the black sheep.
My journey. I always like that. That's crazy.
Yeah. My mom is actually really intuitive. She just, I can't even blame it on her generation, but a lot of people in her generation just are very like, I'm here and I'm doing it my way. And she's made it in the man's world with the man's law, and she's been a college professor, and took care of 2 boys on her own basically. And so, but she's been to like basketball games with friends, and we got the Lady Vols. I don't know if you're familiar with them. Pat Summitt, famous coach. She came out one time on the halftime or something, and one of my mom was with some of her church friends, and she said, something's wrong with Pat. I just feel it. I just feel like something's not right. And they're like, oh no, blah, 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 and, excuse, or whatever, Well, then it was like 6 months later or something, she came out with her diagnosis of Alzheimer's.
Wow.
And her friends came back to her one day and was like, Peggy, you were right that day at the ball game. And she was like, oh. And they were like, she was like, oh, yeah, well, that's nothing. She just kind of blew it off like it was nothing,
Mm-hmm.
And they were like, no, you should really look into that. That's a gift. And she was like, oh, no, that's just something I've always done. And so when I started going through my awakening, I tried to really talk to her. And, for whatever reason, she just wasn't receptive. And she said, you need to heal yourself, and I'll support you. And she always has. And so I love her for that. But yeah, it's kind of been a lonely journey. But sometimes you got to be the black sheep,
Yeah. I do know. That's crazy.
Has it been that way for you?
Yeah, like my dad is an atheist, so he says. My mom doesn't really, I don't even know. Like, I was not raised in church at all. Like, my parents never, it's just me and my sister, and my parents never took us to church, not even one time. And, but I remember somehow knowing of God, just knowing. Like, I remember praying, like, just as like a 5-year-old. But yeah. And I don't know, my sister, it's like all this stuff kind of like scares her, so she just is not really into it. And then there's me, yeah. Like, I was just always had this like desire to know more. And then some of my experiences had me go searching for God, like on my own. And that was like my late 20s. And that was an interesting experience for sure. And then I don't know, like, I don't really know how I feel about the whole like church world. Like, it was just like suffocating, actually.
Yeah.
That's my first time ever even saying that. Like, but that is yeah, that's definitely what it felt like. And but I needed the experiences. Like, I needed the journey. Like, it was all like within the process. Because I definitely had like supernatural encounters that I would have never thought would take place, that I needed to like feel and experience to know like there's so much more than just this.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, and that was amazing. Like, speaking tongues, like, and you can see people sometimes where it just feels like that's not real. Like,
right.
And even with myself, like the moment it happened, that's how I knew it was real, because it's like, okay, I'm not doing this. But but I could like also from that point on, I could like almost like a muscle memory then speak in tongues, but I could feel it's like, but that's not the same. Like I'm doing it. And but the more I would do it, then all of a sudden you could just feel this shift of like, I don't know what, but then it's like no longer me, which is amazing. Yeah. But and the suffocating part was, that's actually what you said the first time I spoke to you. I don't remember how you worded it, but my immediate reply was like, I know that's true, because it was like basically something along the lines of how beliefs will keep you, like, I don't remember what it was you said. Do you remember? Like, it was I don't remember. But
well, like before you started saying, that, I was kind of picking up that it would be safe to say this other thing to you. But then Spirit was like, just wait a minute, she's going to talk. And I was like, okay. So, like, growing up, I had a lot of dreams where Well, in real life, the first church I went to was Southern Baptist. And then my mom, I think, went directly from there to a Presbyterian church, and that's where she still goes today. But I was searching like you were, but I kept going to a lot of different churches. So I had a friend that was a Mormon, so I went to a Mormon church. I went to Pentecostal church. I would just go with different friends. But I always had these dreams where I was going to church and I would be in the church and there would be no one in the church, not a soul in the church. And I'm like, why am I in an empty church? And, over the years, I've really discovered that, I don't like to talk bad or negatively about anything or anyone, but there are truths, and I feel like if you were to look at the Bible, and I think it's in Genesis or something like that, or maybe it's Revelations. I don't know. I don't know the Bible that well, but it says somewhere, in the end times, all the religions will have been penetrated by Satan, if you will. Will have been manipulated in some way, fashion, and I feel like 2012 was the end. Everybody's like, oh, it's gonna end. I'm like, it's not gonna end then, but it's the end of a cycle of time, and then we're gonna start a new cycle of time, and so I felt like at a point I realized after going to a lot of these churches, and I would go to these churches, and a lot of times I had long hair, and they'd be like, "Oh my God, look, Jesus is here," and I'm like, "Oh, please don't do that to me. Please don't do that." First of all, my skin is way too white to be Jesus, and I was like, people have good hearts and good intentions, but they're following things,
Yeah.
and what I've derived from those dreams now, I talked to a lady that I knew her name before I had to work with her, and she lives in Texas, and her father was a pastor. And when I said this, she was like, "Yes, Eric, yes." I feel like those dreams were speaking to me that the Holy Spirit is not in those walls. It's not there.
Wow.
And I've come to really question a lot of things. And I mean, as a child, my favorite time was when they pass around the grape juice and the little cracker to eat,
Yeah.
But I look at that now as a form of brainwash.
Yeah.
Like if you think about it, we live in a society now. What's everybody like? I don't watch these movies, but what is like the one TV show that like seemingly everybody watches, and it's like about zombies? What do zombies eat? They eat the flesh. And then you've got these other popular movies like vampires, and what do? They drink the blood. So what are you doing when you're drinking the blood and eating the flesh of someone that you call as your savior? I mean, I think Christ said it himself. I'm not a Christian.
You're supposed to be sleeping.
You are too. And so, I started really seeing that, all these religions have been affected. Why are you drinking and eating his flesh to be a part of him? I mean, I feel Jesus' whole story it sums up with John 14:11. He said, those, and I don't like the word believe, but those that believeth in me, that come after me, will do everything that I do and more. And so I feel like when he said more, what is that? Well, everybody praises Jesus now, but in the day, they put him on the cross and strung him up, and, oh, he's crazy, So I feel like the more would be for everybody to do what Jesus is doing and we all come together, and we all move in the same direction. And I don't think you got to eat anybody's flesh or drink their blood to get there. It's that personal relationship between you and God. Jesus went out in the desert. That's where he got really hooked up, and the devil tempted him and all that stuff. So yeah, I definitely know what you mean by the smothering. There's just so many false beliefs out there. I mean, when you get into the Bible and all these things, it was written by men. Constantine, put it together because there was a bunch of pagans out there, and he wanted to bring them all together. And from what I understand, from my connection from source, because I've heard a lot of Christians say this, God would never allow the Bible to be written and it not be the absolute truth. I think it's divinely written. I think God chose what he allowed to be written, but I definitely think he allowed it to be manipulated just because of Jesus' story. If you can read the Bible and it says one thing about Jesus, and then you find out from God yourself, Jesus is a metaphor, and maybe he was a real man, but the whole 33, what is 33? What is the significance of him dying at 33? I mean, he was a carpenter. He was these things. We never hear about all the beginning of his life until from 30 to 33. And when you start looking into things that become woo, like Kundalini, oh gosh, you're talking about snakes now. You must be talking about the devil. Oh, look at our caduceus that we use in the healthcare system. It's got a rod or a staff with two snakes entwining up it, and you all go and you take their medicine, and it's oil byproducts. So, what did Moses do? He turned his staff into a snake, and the whole burning bush and everything. All that is really talking about your Kundalini. And when you can take this elixir, which is called DMT, dimethyltryptamine, and you can produce it and fill up your pineal gland, and then just take that all the way down through your spine, go to the base of your spine, and then raise it up, you have 33 vertebrae in your spine. And when you get to that 33, when you get to the 30, it might be the 29th or something, but when you get to your shoulders and your neck, you basically cross over the cross. And so when you get up to the top of the spine, you pretty much do what they call the little death. And then you take that fluid and put it back into the pineal gland, and it mixes up there. And what Christ means is the christened one or the anointed one. And that oil, we all have the potential to produce that oil within inside ourselves. And then we all have the potential to travel up to 33, what they call years, or 33 vertebrae, die on the cross and be reborn. So when you're reborn, you're not getting dunked underwater and being baptized. You're actually being born back into the knowledge of your spirit. Like I was talking earlier, like you start remembering what you came here to do. And so everything we experience in a lot of ways is back asswards, or it's upside down. And it's really designed that way. God allowed it to be that way. I mean, I'm pretty sure God said the God of earth is Satan. So what it was you've got to go through hell to realize your own divinity. And then when you do that, you can be your own captain like Jesus was, and really be your own steward.
Yeah. Wow.
Caduceus is also the symbol of the Archangel Raphael. Ah, that's very interesting. I did not know that. Thank you, Des. She's so beautifully intelligent on some of these things that I don't know. I don't know everything. But I'll tell you, when you learn stuff from spirit and it beats you over the head so many times about so many things, like you're saying, you've gone through life and you've had certain experiences that you just can't question that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's not It's not a belief, it's an experience.
Exactly. You can read it in a book and you might find out later on that book wasn't right and you change your mind. But when you have an experience, yeah, you have a sense of knowing.
Yeah.
You don't have to believe.
Yeah, exactly. It's like I don't know. I love asking people like as far as the like when did it start for you? Because I don't have like stories like you do, or like most people already had like all these things that basically majority of people too also were like fighting it, like this is too much, like go away, like like Shireen, I'm telling you, like she can like speak to dead people and like just spirits just coming out of nowhere, like why are you here, like and and it's just I don't know, like but I just have this knowing of like it's like a knowing and then also just feeling lost as if I don't know. And it's just I just keep on going, but I just know there's like I'm like on the verge of like something, something, and I just don't know what it is. And
yeah. And I think that really speaks to that whole the number one and the masculine, and you keep actuating on what it is that you're asking about, and you're on the verge of getting more and more answers, and I really feel like that with you, in a way, like to hear you say, I don't have all these stories like you or and these other people, they're getting bombarded and that is really the beautiful thing. We all do have different experiences, but it's about the same thing, coming to, like, I think Desiree said it earlier with somebody, you know, you've got many ways. Oh yeah, it was with Emma. You've got many ways to get there, but all those ways are going to get you to the same place.
Mm-hmm.
And so it really is about forming that relationship with yourself, that self-love, to find out what your own spirituality has to teach you.
Right.
And, yours, I mean, I hear you saying you don't have stories like mine, but then I hear you say you've had these experiences that you can't deny either. So I'm pretty sure you've got some stories.
I mean, okay, like that's true too. But I don't know. I'm just meaning like from a young age. Like all that I feel is recently after I like went searching for it. Whereas like majority people, it's like they didn't have to do a thing. It's just there. Like they didn't have to ask any questions. Like they didn't like it was already like very much active.
Yeah. Well, I mean, just to give you some stuff, like from my journey, it's been difficult because, I shut it down, through fear. And then I was ridiculed even by my own family. I won't go into all that. I mean, I've been cussed out. I've been told to fuck off, all that good stuff. And, then there's the other people, like you're saying, they got the spirits coming on all the time. And I just had some major connections with another soul sister that I'm getting ready to start having more meetings with in the UK. And she was taking medications to try and silence these voices.
Right.
And, so, thank God you didn't have to go through that, I mean, because you had the beautiful, the childhood curiosity to start asking the questions for yourself and not necessarily having to fight off things that are your nature or have denied yourself. You're just kind of moving into it as and really I think it can be a blessing to be brought up the way you were with no like spiritual your parents didn't take you to church and all that stuff, because it can be, it's different for everybody, but at the same time we're all going to end up in the same place. We're going to come into our wholeness, which is we are a spiritual eternal being in a human body, and we have, like you said, all these other capabilities, gifts, if you want to call them, or whatever. But your six senses are, clairvoyant, clairaudient, clair this, clair that, clair everything,
Yeah.
So I look at you and just be like, oh man, because just talking with you the few times I've talked to you, I'm like, man, like you're saying now, you're on the verge of like just boom.
Something.
Trying to go to bed, but the barred owls are hooting. They love you, Des. They love you. They're like, you gotta finish that paint. You gotta finish the drawing so you can start the painting because, it's all tied together. Yeah, and Des is really stepping into a lot of that now. Some of the meditations we've done, or like I don't even want to talk to him about a lot of people because people will be like, "All right, we're turning this channel off. They just went straight to the loony bin," But when you're talking to the birds and the animals and getting your fish to do what you ask, it is a beautiful, beautiful connective experience that a lot of people just aren't ready to hear about. They're going to deny it till they're blue in the face or till their fish jumps out of the bowl and slaps them across the face and says, "Fuck you." And they go, "Wait a minute. He told me that, but he didn't speak, but I clearly got to fuck you."
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, life is so beautiful.
Yeah, it is.
And I think it's getting more beautiful as we're connecting, like Michael was saying, I mean, we really are moving into a time where like people like you and I'm waking up every other day. Like, I mean, a lot of people think, oh gosh, Eric's really up there, but I'm also stepping into another level to where it's like almost starting all over again. It's like, oh, there's going to be so many new things that I'm like flipping the script. So I'm like, all right. But now, like talking to the people who've crossed over, that's going to be something I've done sporadically throughout my life. But through Happs in May, I'm going to start doing that for free on the platform. And that way I'll start doing it consistently, and
doing what on the platform?
Doing mediumship.
Okay, yeah.
Connecting people to people that have crossed over. And Des and I have been working, doing healing on certain people, and that's been stuff that I've done, but it's been sporadic. Like I'll do it 1 week, won't do it for 3 weeks, and I'll do it 1 month and won't do it for 3 months. But then Spirit will have me doing a whole bunch of other things, talking to animals or working with the wind and rain and hurricanes and volcanoes and stuff like that. So I'm like all over the place. So now I'm going to start being consistent with a few of those things that I've learned over the last 6 or 7 years. And then once I get comfortable doing that, then some of these things I'm starting to work on and just step into, they're going to just go to the next level again. And I'm going to be like, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, I got so many questions.
Yeah. I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah, my biggest thing now is patience. Like that's what I'm being taught because I've had bajillion questions and then I get frustrated because I want the answer right now. Right now. Like if everybody can hear, it's like, and that was one of the most frustrating things in church too. Well, I hear God saying like, well, why can't I hear God saying? Like, I want to hear. My parents were non-religious when I was born. Yeah.
That's good. Was that a good thing or a bad thing for you, Daniel? Or not that it's good or bad, but was that how did that fare for you?
Yeah. How did that make you feel?
Yeah. What were you saying? I'm sorry.
I'm not even sure. My kindergarten teacher took an interest in me and brought me to Sunday school. Wow. In kindergarten? Wow. And your parents were okay with that?
Yeah, right.
Right. That's cool though.
I sure will send you off with the kindergarten teacher to this cult.
Yeah. I literally don't even know what I was saying. Oh, just wanting to hear, I think, is what I was talking about.
Oh, patience.
Yeah, patience and wanting to hear. And because I'll ask and it's like, okay, but when are you going to answer?
But now, what have you learned in the last couple months or weeks now that you are getting answers?
Yeah. But
From
that's
my
like, that's
exposure
my
to
level of
church.
impatience. So it's like, it's not enough. I want more.
Oh, your parents became interested in church. That's very interesting.
That is seriously very, yeah.
That's beautiful. So you got brought up without them believing or experiencing that on a Sunday weekly basis, and then your kindergarten teacher got all of you all to join hands and go do it together. It's quite a transformation there. Thank you for sharing that, Daniel.
Yeah.
So, what are some of your questions that you're waiting for the answers? Not that I'm going to answer them.
Yeah, I guess just the norm of like, what is my purpose? Like, what should I be doing? As far as gifts, like just really trying to find myself. Like,
Yeah. And that's the one that we all have. I won't ever forget. Like, it's 2014, and my wife at the time took me to a sound therapist. So she like had these crystal bowls and sound tables, and she was also had a doctorate in philosophy and psychology and all that stuff. But on the way there, I told my wife, I was like, man, if we go there and this woman tells me that it's all in my mind and spirituality, I'm fucked, because that means I got to heal myself, which is what spirit was telling me,
mm-hmm.
And that's exactly what she told me. She was like, I know you got physical issues and diseases and injuries, but what I'm getting is it's your mind and your spirituality. And so I let her in on some of my visions and dreams and things. So at the end of our session, she said, well, I'm going to send you home, and I'm going to give you some homework. I was like, okay, all right, sure. What is it? She was like, I want you to go home. I'm gonna give you a CD, and it's gonna be a guided meditation, and I want you to find a spirit guide and your life purpose. I was like, oh, thanks. Don't lay it on thick or anything.
Right.
And that was a Saturday. And on the way home, we stopped at a crystal shop, and I got some selenite. And Sunday, my wife and my daughter went somewhere, and so I, at the time, I was smoking marijuana because I was losing weight. I got down to like 100 pounds, and so I was smoking that to keep weight a lot. But it also helps to waken you. It's not something you should do, and everything's not good if you do it a lot. I don't smoke it anymore, but I got really good and high, and I plugged in the CD, and I went into meditation, and I didn't find my spirit guide. I found my connection to my higher self, and my higher self told me my life purpose. And so the next time I went back to her, I said, "This is what I got." And she asked her guides, and she was like, "Yep, that's what it is." And I was like, "Oh wow!" And it was interesting, though. This is the reason why I'm explaining it is like my life purpose. It's part of my life purpose. It's not all of my life purpose. Is to work with the children. Because like Michael was saying earlier, when we're born, we're like closer to our reality, or we're closer to our gifts, and so it's important to really kind of start teaching them at a young age how to work with crystals, like Desiree does, or I do, or are all these people that, you know, get into different energy work, you know, and just give them that kind of exposure and keep them in the loop so they don't do what I did and go way far away from their nature. And all my life, kids have been attracted to me, but I was like a hyper kid. And so I was always like, you know, I would go out in the field and play ball with them and do this. And so it was more like doing active stuff. It wasn't the spiritual stuff.
Right.
But now I was disabled and I'm learning about all this spiritual stuff. And when I was in college, Source told me, I was trying to determine what degree I was going to get, and Spirit was like, well, you're going to be a teacher. And I was like, okay, cool. My mom's a teacher. All right. So I'm going to be an education major. All right. That the Spirit was like, whoa. We didn't. No, wait a minute. What you're going to teach, they don't teach in school. I was like, oh, well, shoot. How's that going to work? And they're like, well, when you stop avoiding what you've been avoiding all your life, it'll work. And then I was like, oh, shit. So, you know, when you find all that stuff out, you'll probably realize that there's been instances throughout your life that have kind of, you know, illuminated that on certain levels or whatever.
Right.
From my exposure to church, my mother then later I were baptized into the church. Much later, my father also. Oh, that's good. That's good to have that like community, that communion with, you know, your family and that unity kind of experience, you know, like me and Takara here, we were the black sheep, so it's kind of two different strokes, different folks, but it all ends up in the same. It all ends up with love, connection.
Yeah. Yep.
But I feel like you're like you're saying it. You're pretty much saying it. You know, you're on the verge of really getting. But here's another thing I will say. You know, in 2014 to probably like 2015 or 16, I got a lot of answers that I asked as a child or as I was growing up as a spiritual being that I didn't get until then. And then I had all these other questions. And I was like, well, what's this and what's that and what's this and what's that? And I wasn't getting the answers. But Spirit was guiding me along the way, and I was having other experiences. And then in the not too recent past, I've gotten some of those answers that I was asking in 2014, 15, and 16. And I realized I was not ready for those answers.
Yeah.
And even though it's only been 4 or 5 years, now I was much more capable of digesting what those answers consisted of. So, yeah, patience has been a big lesson here of late for me as well. And when you really start to get into it more, you start to find that serenity, if you will. And then the answers become more clearer, they become more louder, and they become more often. So keep working on that patience, and you'll be surprised how quickly you get this stuff.
I love it. Yeah, I think Happs is just so amazing. Like, I cannot believe. Like, that's what makes. I think I said that the last time, is that because it just blows my mind that majority people here were already on Periscope and they never ran into anybody, and now that Happs has been created, it just seems like there's just so many so many spiritual people. And I remember Michael actually saying that one time on his broadcast. He was just talking. I don't know who was talking to him, but he was talking about somebody that was talking to him was like, you have all those views and it's a spiritual broadcast. And
yeah.
And like, that's the thing. It's just like, I like to kind of understand the question, like, what? Like, it's not really something that you really see often, but that's been like my introduction to Happs, is like, and I didn't know Michael before, even though he was on Periscope. Randy, like, you know, and Randy talked about being able to see auroras.
Yeah.
Thank you, I said that wrong. And so, like, everybody I keep meeting is like spiritual, and it's just like, wow, that's just crazy.
I know. Once I heard that, he said it one time on a broadcast I was on with him, and I've meant to ask him every other broadcast, but it's kind of the conversations have gone in different directions, and so it hasn't been too woo wooey. But and Randy's told me how much love he has for me, but um, I'm really tempted to be like, so when Randy, when you look at my aura, what do
I
you
want to know too. I want to know.
you know? And
but he said he won't never tell anybody.
Oh, is that right? Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
but it's still worth asking. People change their mind, like catch them on a good day or something.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, and I love that too. I didn't really do Periscope. In fact, the guy that I was talking about the dreams earlier, Michael V from Twitch, um, Spirit had told me about him several years before I came in contact with him, and he's telling me he does this thing, and he just talks and paints online, and I'm like, what is this? Where is this? And so when I got introduced to Twitch, he broadcasted on Periscope and other things. So I signed up there, but I never really spent any time there because he mainly was on Twitch. But yeah, hearing all the people talking about they were on Periscope, and then now they're meeting all these other people that they've never met when they were on Periscope, and I'm like, and I've had all this deja vu stuff about all these people on Happs, and I kept getting, you're gonna be like a podcaster. I'm like, really? I'm gonna be a podcaster? Yeah, I've got the gift of gab, but I don't know. Not too many people are showing up for spiritual podcasts.
Right.
But then Haps falls in my lap through Michael, and the first night Colin came in and was talking about Michael Bathurst. And as soon as he mentioned his name, I was like, I know that I've already had dreams about this guy.
Wow.
So, and then when I met him, it just all started to snowball after that, and it does. It feels like a family. You feel like family. Meeting Emma, I was like, oh my gosh, all the gold sparkling behind her. I'm like, that's just like in my dreams with the black and white, almost checkerboard shirt that she had on. I'm like, wow. Now I finally get to see this person that I saw in my dreams. Like, I think it was probably 20 years ago when I had a dream about Emma.
Oh, wow.
So, I mean, it really is a dream come true right now in my life. Like almost every day for the last 3 days, it's been multiple times each day.
Yeah.
Looking at you once you got on this feed, and the feed before, everybody on the screen, Al, Emma, Des when she was frozen in that one picture.
Yeah.
It was just like, oh my gosh, man.
I love that. I love deja vus. They feel good. Like it's just like, yeah, I'm on the right path.
Yeah. And how much of the lucid dreams have you gone into as far as like having lucid?
It's almost every night. Almost. I definitely for sure dream every single night. But as far as like me talking to me in the dream, that's not necessarily every night, but it's definitely often.
Yeah, I mean, like when I talk to people like Tiara tonight, to know that she's running from something that she can face, but then to know she's found a portal, she's found a gate. I mean, that's such a big thing. That's so advanced. You know what I mean?
Mm.
And so sometimes I don't think I communicate in the best way because I knew I could feel that she was fearful of it, but at the same time, I'm on the opposite side of the spectrum, going, "Oh, you are like this close. You just don't know it. You're like this close. All you got to do is turn around." And she's like, "Really?" I'm like, "Yeah, really, really, really." Well, a little bit more than that. You got to like turn around and like, I am me.
Mm-hmm.
And it is like Des was saying, it doesn't have to be like a negative spirit or anything like that. It could be, like what she was talking to Duke about. It could be a father issue or a mother issue or things like that, that have this dark, cloudy persona. My dreams are my own personal Netflix. I love my dream life. Aren't they? They are like a Netflix. They are. They're like movies.
Yeah. I just love to make sense of them, and a lot of times it's like this, like I don't know what I'm supposed to get from this or where this came from.
Yeah, and that's where just asking that question with the intent that by asking the question that you're setting an intent, because your intent is your most powerful tool. So if your intent is to get an answer, you just have to take yourself seriously and go, okay, well, what does this mean? And another thing about the whole school thing, and I didn't get to say that to Tiara tonight, but hopefully we'll connect here more in depth. But something I learned from my soul sister that's a lucid dream mystic. She said, whenever I realize that I'm in a dream setting, especially if I'm in school, she was like, I'm not currently in school in my own life. So I know at that point I'm dreaming. And so I can start to shift my mind to say, okay, look for a portal. Well, now Tiara's telling me she already found the gate. So instead of escaping with the gate, just set the intention to say, take me where I'm supposed to go.
Yeah.
Because she might end up in my dream or your dream. And then that's a whole nother paradigm in itself. But then you have camaraderie. You have two people linking up too. Colin Porter is in the house. Oh my God, I'm still up, Colin. We've had a beautiful fucking night here. And to see your beautiful face, your beautiful name, I'm just gonna go ahead and throw it up at you because even if you're not ready to come on screen, well, look at your beautiful cup of tea. So invite is sent, my brother. Terry Sanford. Yeah, Sanford just subscribed. Thank you, Terry. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. For some reason, that's one thing I don't like. When somebody subscribes to you, I cannot click on their name to see if I'm subscribed to them or to subscribe.
Yeah.
Like, why is that?
Right. That is kind of weird. Yeah, you just have to wait and like.
But if he was to make a comment, I could click on him.
Right.
He says he can do the cup of tea. We're going to get a little Colin Porter in the house this morning. We're going to be very blessed with the Colin. We love Colin.
Yeah.
Colin's my mother from another... No, he's not my mother. He's my brother from another mother on the other side of the pond, if you will.
I love it.
I'm going to have to get his VMAX when I can afford it. I will try the 60-day, I think you said 60 or 30 days free trial, but I want to try it like right before I can afford to get it. I gotta go there and find out how much it is a month. Maybe I could afford it. I don't know.
What is it?
Oh, you haven't seen it yet? Colin's got this cool thing. It's called VMix. So it's V and then MIX. And he can make his background. So I assume you have to have like a green screen probably, but he can make his. So like one day I was on there with him and we felt like we were in Sherlock Holmes's office. He had the fire over there, and it wasn't just the fireplace. You could hear the fire crackling in the fireplace, and so it really gets you into the zone. And so I really want that for my platform because I can put us in the middle of the Amazon, and we can be doing ayahuasca or something. We can go into some meditative shamanic journeys.
That's fun.
Without the ayahuasca, of course, but
Yeah.
That's why your imagination is such a beautiful tool as well.
Yeah.
And that's part of me that shut down. As a child, I shut down some of that. Like Desiree, in some ways, she's, her imagination is still really there, and she, as I was having a lot of these visions from 2012 to now, I also had family members cussing me out. So I even shut down some of my imagination then. So I've got to get more in alignment with myself a little bit more still.
Yeah.
To be in my wholeness. How are you this morning, Colin? Oh, I guess it's. What time is it there?
It is 10 minutes past 9, Eric. 10 minutes past 9. Good to see you, brother.
Good to see you, brother. 10 minutes past 9. It's 5:11 here. So
wow.
Adds up to 7.
Was it a late night? Have you had a long night? Was it a long session?
It was. Spirit kind of warned me about it. Said last week that I needed to start, like I told you earlier this week, I needed to start shifting my schedule to get up with the sun and go to bed at a good hour. But it kind of told me that I wasn't going to see Michael for about a week, Michael Bathurst, and then he would be inviting me to join him on a broadcast from about a week from last Saturday is when I got the official download. And he messaged me on Facebook today and was like, I'm gonna get on at 10 tonight. Can you be there? I was like, yeah, I can be there. And he went for a historic. I don't know how long did we go on his broadcast here? Like over 2 hours. I mean, he doesn't ever go over 2 hours. So, but he said it was the best one yet. So he
good.
had some people that wanted to continue the journey. So I said, all right, I'll open up my broadcast and we'll go over here. And here I am 3 hours and 40 minutes later at 5 a.m.
Yeah.
Bless you. So, a good night then. A very good night.
Oh, it's been a beautiful night. I probably won't be able to talk tomorrow. I'm already going hoarse, but hey, it's a beautiful thing, you know?
It is. It really is. Spreading
How
the
are
love
you?
and spreading the light.
How are you doing? How was your night? Did you have a good peaceful rest, I hope? I don't like that word hope.
It was semi-peaceful. I woke up this morning and early hours of this morning, and my skin was playing silly beggars, and it decided to try and mess with my head. So yeah, I'm sat here a little bit feeling a little bit tender. So if you would send some more, Eric, it would be greatly appreciated, because I know it's working on some level. I know it's working.
Yeah, and I've gotten some downloads on it. It is going to take some time. Spirits kind of put on my mind and my heart that, like I said that one night on Leslie's chat that we were in on, that, for me, I've healed to certain extents with certain things, and there will be some miraculous healing here in the near future where I get wake up the next morning and something that I was ailed with no longer ailing me. But by healing over a progression of time, I end up growing my knowledge to be able to help other people will be my brain's not working all the way right at this moment, but it will be much more inclusive and in depth, and I'll be able to talk more to people and share better by going through that instead of just getting it all healed at one time. But yeah, I'm with you, brother. I'm not going to say to the end, because we've known each other before, and we'll know each other after these suits lay to rest.
I don't doubt it. I don't doubt it at all.
But yeah, you've got my full attention. You have my full attention. as everybody I'm meeting
Thanks,
on here.
appreciate
it. Yeah, you're definitely a brother. I don't say that lightly. And Takara is one of the.
It is only.
I'm sorry. What was that?
It is only a brief. I'm just stepping in here briefly. I've got to go and see my mother. Obviously, it's Mother's Day today, so I've got a couple of bits and pieces that I need to sort out. Yeah, Mother's Day over here.
Day. Like, oh my gosh, it is. But different country.
Yeah. But I just wanted to step in and say hi to everybody. Great broadcast as always, Eric. You know, you're shining the light, and people are taking it on board. They are taking it on board. This is the right place, the right time for you to be.
Yeah.
I thank you so much, Colin. Thank you, and yeah, get with me. I know we're planning to get together on a couple of different things now. It just keeps adding up. The thing with Joy, and I think Leslie and Vaughn on another subject, and then me and you personally as well. So I'm looking forward to all of it. Whatever you want to put on the table, I'm there with you, brother.
Bless you, much appreciated. Yeah, I'll drop you a message and we'll sort something out. But thank you very much, Dina, to be on the side there saying hi, Colin, happy Mother's Day. I'm going to catch you all later. I say I do have to fly. I've got a couple of bits and pieces that I need to sort out. But thank you very much, Eric. It's been a pleasure. I'll talk to you later.
Thank you.
Bye, Colin.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Dina, thank you for the high five award. Oh my goodness. Didn't I see you like 5 hours ago or 7 hours ago? Right. Are you just getting up, or have you been on the journey with us?
Yeah. Probably just getting up.
Don't you love it when everybody's been to bed and you're like,
Everyone's just still here.
I'm here to greet you. Oh, and a super heart award. Thank you. You're too kind. You're too kind. Oh, much love back at you. Waka 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 waka.
Right. Oh my goodness. Like, we have not gone to bed.
Yes, we're here to greet you in your lovely morning. Two beautiful face. Well, one beautiful face, and one bearded face.
Stop. I wanted to ask you though, like when you were talking about being able to enter somebody else's dream, do you normally well, wait, that didn't make sense. Like, can you talk to whoever's dream you're in? Like, does the person who, like, if I enter your dream, do you know that I'm there?
So, you just hit the $1 million question right there, Takara.
Yeah.
I haven't experienced it yet. So, this is what I'm working on currently. Helga!
Good morning, Helga.
Good morning, Helga. You're like, what the fuck is Eric doing? What is he doing up so early? Yeah. Well, I'm up so early because I haven't gone to bed yet. So we're gonna invite you up right now because we need your beautiful energy to keep us going. No, I'm wide awake. Actually,
I know, right?
My body's kind of like, sitting in the chair. That could be a thing tomorrow, but hey, Monday's my birthday, so I got some things to do, and then it's just gonna be flying. So we're all in the right place. I'm looking at the car, and I'm like, oh my god, I've seen her in my dreams. So yeah, to your question.
Hi, Helga.
So
good morning.
Oh, look at you! You're still in the bed. You're just getting up.
Yeah.
Oh, wait a minute! I done clicked on you. I'm sorry. Should I click off of you?
It feels like an amazing morning time. It's so bright. I love it.
It's not. Oh man. Okay, I'm going to get out and then come put some clothes on.
Yeah, probably do that.
All right, I'll just mute you. and then you can just lay your phone down, face down, and we won't spy on you.
And close your eyes.
Yeah. Okay. My mute button doesn't work apparently, so whatever. Just saying. Dina says, you had a happy vision and have seen us in your dreams. Yes. So I saw Dina the other day on Vaughn's, and actually, I think she was the only one on that stream that I remember seeing in that just the way I saw her on the screen was what I saw in my dream, and that was probably around 2005. By the way, Dina, that I saw that. Like I said, I don't always remember when they were. Sometimes it's a little foggy, but so yeah, here's the way I've digested it so far. So I've had these dreams all my life that I either see the future or I see people that I'm going to meet in the future, or I see through their eyes and I see something that they're doing in their life. And then I meet them and realize that they've had that experience. And I think I've got a mouse in my house, or else my dog's still here. I think my dog went home with my daughter, though. So I'm going to have to get me some new mouse traps. But so what I've done is it gets a little complex, but so as I started, like in 2014, my higher consciousness started telling me that I was going to start meeting my soul family members. And I was like, okay. And then I had a healer guy that I was working with, and he came over in 2015 and said, I feel like you're about to start meeting your soul family. I was like, okay, that's what I just got. So, I got some reassurance, and then I started meeting some of my soul sisters. I saw a mouse in my house yesterday. Doggone it, cold weather. They need to move out and get their own hidey holes.
Right.
Stop mooching off me and my heat. Because I don't want to kill them, but oh my goodness. My big thing is I don't want them running across my face when I'm lying there in bed. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That will freak me out. And if I think about it, I'm going to manifest it, because I manifest just about everything. And
yeah, don't think about it.
I did do that the other year. He missed me. I knew he was going to miss me, but he ran right across the bed next to me. And I was like, oh, you little shit. You're going to die now.
Oh, my gosh.
And I did. I got him, too. He was stuck to that glue trap.
Like, literally in the bed, though?
Yeah, he ran right across the bed. He ran from the head to the bottom. I felt him scamper across. I was like, oh, you're lucky you didn't run on me. Or I'm lucky, because I would have tried to squeeze you, and then you would have bit me, and then I would have been like paranoid that I'm going to get some kind of disease. But
I cannot.
Yeah, don't get any ideas. You're not running across my bed. So yeah, I had these dreams, and when I started realizing I was going to come in contact with my soul family, they've been mostly women, and because y'all have been suppressed for so long, we've been living in the man's world, and the man has suppressed his feminine nature, because the man has the feminine nature too, and the feminine is what receives all these messages, and like I was explaining the other night, and then the masculine side is what puts it into actuation. And so once I started meeting my soul family, like, shit started getting real deep. So one of my first soul family members, since you're going to be a part of my Facebook family, her name's Shelby. I call her B. And I met her, and that's a whole long story, but when I met her, I was like, are you missing toes and fingers? And she was like, no. And then like 2 years later, she's missing toes and fingers because she went into a coma and all this stuff. And I talked to her great grandmother, and I talked to her and all this stuff. But what I started experiencing when I met her mother was that we had the same dream.
Wow.
And then I met other women that I had the same dream that they had, but they didn't know me. They didn't see me. So, like, one was, we were talking about Batman earlier. Like, in Batman's story, his parents get shot in the back of an alley. I had this dream where I was in this alley and there's like water and puddles and stuff, and there's this little bitty girl like crying, like hunched over, all balled up, just crying in the alley, and I'm like, what's going on here? And I walked over and got closer to her, but as I got there, we're in that lucid state, and so I've got this whole dialogue going on in my brain, and I'm like, I don't feel like she's going to be able to see that I'm here. And then all of a sudden she looks up and kind of almost looks like she's looking at me. And then her eyes get really big and she's like, and I'm like, this isn't me that she's seeing. I think there's like an angel behind me or something. And so when I met this woman, she told me this whole story of this dream. She was like, Eric, you're good with dreams. Maybe you can help me figure this dream out. And so she tells me this dream. I was like, yeah, I can help you out on this one. I was like, I've had the same dream, but you told me that you looked up and you saw an angel. Well, I didn't see the angel in the dream, but I knew there must be an angel behind me because of the expression on your face. But with B's mom, what I had this dream, and it was around 2002 because I was working at the mall, and there was these apartments up above the mall, and I felt a strange connection to these apartments. I didn't know anybody up there. I don't know why I felt this strange connection, but I did. And when I had this dream, I was sitting like Indian style, or meditation style, with my legs crossed, and there was a water bed to my left, and there was this, what I perceived, a girl sitting in front of me, about my age, a little bit older than me, and we both had blue skin. Kind of like Desiree's picture of the angel with the blue skin, kind of like that, or like these Hindu gods that you see with the blue skin, Krishna or something. And we had our clothes on, but I felt like in that dialogue in my brain was, she didn't have any gender and I didn't have any gender. So we were like genderless, or whatever you call that term when you're like asexual. I don't know what the fuck that term is.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were Smurfs, but bigger.
I was thinking Avatar.
Yes. Avatars. I love that movie. And when and she was sitting the same way I was, and so we were like meditating. There's this water bed, and so in my mind again, I'm like, I have a feeling like I've never had a water bed. I've slept on water beds, but I've never had one. I was like, I feel like this is her water bed. Like whoever this is her water bed. And we were in this small apartment bedroom, and there was this closet and everything. And so when I met B's mom, she was automatically like just turned on when she talked to me the first time. She was like, "Oh my God, Eric, I can feel your energy. You are like amazing. Like you're like lighting me up right now." And I'm like, whoa, okay. Wow, it's a little new. Not everybody says that about me. It's kind of like Michael. He's like, "Okay, Eric, calm down. Your energy, you're about to make me leave the room." She had that awareness,
Yeah.
So I was like, wow, this is amazing. So as we started to get to know one each other, we were like having multiple week conversations and stuff, and I was having lots of deja vu with her. Well, then one day she tells me this dream. She said, Eric, I just had this dream like last night or last week or whatever it was. And I needed to tell you about it. I was like, okay, yeah. And she tells me about the exact same dream I had, but from her perspective. She was sitting opposite me, but she didn't know it was me. Until I said, I've had that exact same dream.
Wow.
But I was the male sitting across for you, even though we were both asexual or whatever. And so, you know, I've been watching her develop, and she's, you know, been looking up to me for several years and really wanting to get to the places that she would hear my stories about. And finally, we got to a place where Spirit was like, all right, y'all, you know, do some meditations together and do this and that. And then we started having a lot of dreams. She was addicted to some drugs and stuff, and so she was having a lot of nightmares, and a lot of her nightmares consist of her doing drugs. And I realized that I'd been in those places that she was describing, and I'm like, we're almost in the same place, but we're missing each other. And when I'm there, I feel like I'm waiting for someone to show up. And so, and she's all these connections. Anyhow, long story short, about 2 or 3 years ago, I ended up having this lucid dream. And it was like very lucid. Like it was very fucking lucid. It was like super lucid. And I mean, I've flown and I've done all that stuff, and that's beautiful and that's great. But what was amazing about this was neck needs to pop.
Goodness.
I was in this dream, and there's like, I can see the grass, and I can see it's like nighttime. And all of a sudden, here comes Samantha. She comes into my dream, and I'm like, oh shit. So I like grab her around the waist. I'm like, I've got her. She's not going anywhere. We're not going to get separated. Wow. This is a breakthrough. Okay. All right. This is really, really, really real feeling. So like I've got my left hand on her. She's looking up at the sky. I'm like, okay. So looking at the night sky, there's stars up there. Okay. And so I get the feeling to look at the ground. And so I look at the ground, and there's like some tall grass, and then there's like a dividing line of some short grass. And right there, close to my foot, is this stone. And it's like this beautiful blue stone. JB, hello. And I'm looking at this stone, and I have the feeling to put my hand down over it. So I put my hand over it, and all of a sudden I just feel this vibration in my hand chakra. It's like just, I'm like, whoa, whatever this stone is, it's powerful. So I'm looking at the stone, and I'm looking up at Samantha, and she's still looking at the sky, and I'm like, and I can feel the wind. I can see the grass blowing. I'm like, all right. So I wake up. The dream was pretty much over at that point. There wasn't anything else to say about it. So I get online that day, working with one of my soul brothers, and he's making me a dream catcher. And I've been told that this dream catcher is going to be helpful to help me connect with my soul family members in the lucid dream state. So I was going to take some crystals and send them to him to put into the dream catcher, to work into it. And I had bought some crystals that worked with my star charts, and I was thinking about them. And so I was researching those crystals, one of them in particular, a garnet. And, you know, sometimes when you go to these crystal sites, they'll suggest other crystals that work well with this particular crystal. They kind of feed off each other. And when I scrolled down through some of those, I saw the stone. that I saw in my dream.
Wow.
Exact stone. It was the exact stone. All the colors, the shape, everything. I was like, oh shit, drop the mic. This is important. So I'm like, what is this stone? So I'm like, oh, and it's like Laramar, you know me in pronunciations, like Laramar or something like that. And so I start reading about it, and it's this one of the most powerful stones they're talking about. It's recently been discovered in 1974. Oh, that was the year I was born, interestingly enough. And it comes from like around the Polynesian Islands, which is like very interesting for me. And so then I start reading about it, and it's very powerful because it links the heavens with the earth, the sky and the earth, and the waters of the earth. And I was like, Samantha was looking to the heavens, and I was directed to look at the earth. And she was looking to make a lot of these spiritual connections that I had had. And I'm looking to really ground myself. And she had been getting really close to the trees, but I was in my disability still and not getting outside at that point. And so what that eventually told me was she didn't have that dream, and she had no, like, oh yay, we had the same dream or we were in the same landscape. But Spirit started telling me this is a precursor. This is a baby step. And so now you're going to meet this girl that talks about lucid dreams and all this stuff. And so everything that's happened since then, Spirit's just been kind of guiding me, giving me a little nugget. And if I step with my mask on and follow it, I get the answers or whatever that I require. And so what Spirit's been telling me is you're going to kind of reverse what you've experienced. You've experienced you seeing people in your dream and then coming to know them in real life. And they've been very important to you. And yes, you've helped them grow, but how much have they helped you grow? I'm like, yeah. Okay. So get to the point, Spirit. And so Spirit was like, so how great would it be, Eric, for you to show up in somebody else's dream that's never met you, doesn't know you from a hole in the wall? You give them your name, just like you've gotten these people's names. And then when you meet them, their name lines up with the name that you got and the dream that you had, so you can't deny it.
Wow.
Now, let's say they get on Happs, or they get on Facebook, or they get on some kind of device, or they see you at the mall, or wherever. They come into me, in my frequency, and they go, holy shit, this is Eric Hypes. I've seen you in my dreams.
Yeah.
And then the process starts for them. And I don't necessarily do the work for them. They've already kind of had their own experience. But I've been kind of the catalyst, you know what I mean? And so that's really what I'm looking forward to. Like, I'm biting at the hook right now, chomping at the bit. I'm like, when is this going to happen? And so last year, Spirit's like, all right, March 13th, you're going to need to do some mega meditations with some soul family members. And so today I did one with Samantha, B's mother, and it was very profound, very prophetic. We're sitting there and she's having experiences and she's feeling energies and she's speaking to what I'm feeling. And then I'll speak and she'll go, oh my God, Eric, I'm feeling that too. So, we're both mutually like invested in this, and we're both getting the validation that this is totally so freaking real that you can't make this shift up. And then, Helga, my beautiful sister, she wasn't present for our meditation, but B wasn't present for our meditation either. But me and Samantha formed a triangle intended to connect with B, and I saw a triangle in our meditation. And so when Des and I did our meditation, we did the same thing. Our intention was to connect with Helga, and we've done this in the past. She's like, Eric, Des, I'll see you in the dream world. Even if I don't see you, I know you'll be there. And so, I and Des both saw the triangles in our meditation. I was about to say it today, but yesterday. And so shit every year on my birthday just blows the fuck up. So, it's 443 on the eyes that have laid eyes on us. So that adds up to 11 right now. Let's see what time it is. It's 5:40. That adds up to 9. 9 plus 11 is 11. So I'm moving into another level of my self-mastery.
Wow.
And meeting Tiara last night, knowing how close she is, she could be another very, very instrumental piece of the puzzle. In my book, all she's got to do is turn around and face it, go through that portal, and bam, we might end up in the same dream. And then all her fears go out the window, and she's fully on board now. She's like, I'm ready to go.
Yeah.
What's the team doing?
Right.
And you're in this too, and Dina and everybody. If you feel called to this, I'm not forcing anybody, but
right.
If you feel the calling to what me and Helga and Des and Michael and everybody are chatting about, chances are, that's for you too. But yeah, there's a lot of uncharted ground about to be broken. We're about to break some. I've not heard. I've listened to some lucid dream stuff, and they all say, "No, can't do what you're talking about, Mr. Hypes." I'm like, well, I've heard differently, so I guess it's up to us to chart new waters.
Yeah.
So, there's still in the last few days been a lot of anxiety that I'm quelling. Like, is this really going to happen? All right, I'm talking to people. It better happen, or else I'm going to look like a big fucking goof.
Yeah.
But Spirit's also saying you have to talk about it. Yeah. You have to vocally put it out there. You have to use your voice to manifest this. You have to speak about it.
That really spoke to me. Oh my goodness.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like, fuck the fear.
Yeah.
The fear's there to propel you. Because once you step through that fear, the reward on the other side, there's some diamonds in there. There's some gems. There's some amazing, powerful crystals that you might just see in your dreams that you find on eBay the next day.
Yeah, Dana asked, do you have that stone?
I do. I don't have that exact stone. That exact stone was just a picture on the interweb on whatever site I was, but it was the exact stone, that picture. So I researched and I found a place to get the stone straight from the guys that mine it. So there's not any middleman in the process, actually.
Wow.
So I've got a piece here that did I move it? Actually, I might have lied to you. Nope, there she is. Actually, this isn't mine. I bought it for my divine partner, which we're not talking to one another right now. So that's one of those other things that's kind of hanging in the balance. Spirit's like, y'all are going to get back together, but she knows where it is. She's in her ego a lot. And I love her. She loves me, but I had to have time away from her to make all these connections with a lot of my soul sisters, and she would have been severely jealous because she is very, very psychic. But if you have fear in you, your psychic abilities can be used to torture you or see things that aren't actually happening, but because of your fears, that ends up dictating it in certain ways. So, before we became a partnership, I saw this on eBay, and I was like, I'd already gotten downloads about her. And I said, well, if she's real and she's out there and we're going to be together, I'm going to buy this heart for her. And so it's a piece of, however you fucking say this crystal's name.
Yeah.
It's a piece of this crystal in the shape of a heart. And what's really special about this crystal too, I think it's got iron or hematite. I can't remember, but it comes out as red. And so on the back, you can see half the heart is red.
Mm-hmm.
And then on the left side, which our heart's on our left side in our body, I don't know if my camera is going to focus. Kind of will, yeah. There's a little itty bitty red heart on the left side of the heart. So it's like a heart within a heart, and then the heart is even bleeding,
Yeah,
if you will. But I told her she's got to come visit me to get this crystal. I'm not going to send it to the mail. And so when she comes to visit me, when we get back together, I don't know if we're really separated, but she's currently blocked me and deleted me from Facebook. So, yeah, shit happens, you know. Well, Spirit told me I was going to have to take a break from her. And I told her no, I wasn't going to do that because I told her I was going to, you know, sit on the side of the road whenever she had a meltdown. And then I was watching this movie thing, and this kind of happened on the movie, and the people in the movie were like, well, if you don't make the decision will be made for you. And that just fucking lit me up. I was like, oh, that's going to apply to me. I have a feeling. Spirit was like, oh, damn, Skippy straight. If you don't make the decision.
I think I've seen that.
Yeah, it was on, what is it? It's not a movie, but it's a, fuck. It was a series. I wish it hadn't died, but they killed it. It's called, fuck. It was like these magicians, and there was werewolves, and they were in college, and all this stuff. But so when I heard that, I was like, okay. And then Spirit was like, yeah, if you don't tell Janie that you need about 2 or 3 months break, like we don't need to talk at all. Like she needs to get her shit in order. I need to get my shit in order. Meaning I need to get more healed because I still have a lot. I have some healing to do. I'm not gonna say a lot, but anyhow, I didn't do that, and so she had already blocked and deleted me once, refriended me, all that, and then like a week later, she did it again, and I was like, okay, it was supposed to happen this way, so I didn't tell her that I needed a break, and I didn't have the balls, I didn't have the cojones to say it, so the decision was made for me.
Wow.
But it's a test too. I mean, it's a relief in one way because I don't have to put up with all this jealousy and all this, like having to talk to her for 4 or 5 hours each night because she lives in Oregon and I'm in Tennessee. I wouldn't be meeting you all.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have the time to do this.
Right.
And she's scared that her spiritual man is going to get caught up because all these women are waking up and they want them a spiritual man, and there ain't many men who are awake, especially to the degree that I'm awake, and there's a lot of details in there, isn't there, Helga? Oh, it's been a beautiful fucking road, though. I mean, you know, me and Helga, we're like this, you know. There ain't no separation, but I ain't cheating on nobody, so. Dina says it's blue. What? Can you spell it? Yeah, let me do that. Let me try to open up my other browser and pull up my eBay. Oh my god, my other browser is trying to crash. It says a web page is slowing you down. I thought I would close this web page when I told Randy I couldn't open Facebook. Because Facebook and Happs just don't always operate for me at the same time. Alright, let me try it again.
Is it Larimar? Larimar?
Yeah, how do you spell that? Larimar?
Yep.
Yep. Oh my god, I spelt it correctly. Yeah, if you don't mind typing that in there for Dina, because I don't think it's spelled. Right. I'm sorry, what'd you say, Helga?
You sound like you were in space. Or I'm dreaming that I'm talking to you.
Are you having deja vu?
I think so. And you are in it.
Good.
Oh, this is so beautiful. Good morning, everyone. I didn't got the chance to talk yet.
Good morning.
Good to see you guys. Good to see my brother from another mother.
Over there in the Netherlands.
Yes.
Thank you, Happs. Thank you, Facebook. Thank you, interwebs. It sounded like Eric was in space. Yeah, I'm looking forward to getting. I didn't either. I'm confused. Maybe y'all are having some spacey deja vu, and me and Takar are.
Spacey deja vu.
Me and I know you. Yeah. Yeah, this is this is the magic. This is the magic that's going to make the rest of life a lot more enjoyable.
Yes.
Yeah.
We need something
like
from our own in this journey. You know what it is? Well, how I see it, we are scared for our own powers.
Yeah.
What'd you say about powers?
That we are scared for our own powers.
Yeah, we're scared of ourselves and what we can do.
Yeah.
Not realizing that we already did it.
There you go.
And now we have to change it in consciously.
No, I have never been scared. Like I've just always been like, how do I tap into it? How do I tap into it? So I'm waiting for the how.
Yeah. So you had to meet up with those who were scared of it.
Yeah.
Who had to step through, and then we can be like they call the way shower to a certain degree, but allow you to do it more for yourself, and then you'll be a way shower too.
Yeah.
And we'll just keep spreading the word. We'll keep wooing them. We'll keep wooing them with the woo.
Yeah.
And when you figure out the woo is inside of you, the things you can do. Yeah, it's been a beautiful night. I know it's going to take you a little while to watch all the replays, but so the Michael Bathurst replay is available. He said it's probably his best podcast to date. I would probably have to agree. And then this one's, he invited me. He invited Des and I onto his podcast yesterday morning. And remember, I was telling you that I've been getting pings from Spirit all last week that he was going to be coming back around and asking me to come on his broadcast. So That happened yesterday, and that broadcast. Oh my god, that broadcast was. I can't
I'm
say
going to watch
enough.
it. I need to watch it.
He broke 2 hours. I think he broke 2 hours. He went over 2 hours.
Yeah.
Of course, you were there.
Well, he only kept talking about you, Helga. He was like, "Where's the third party? Where's the third party?" I was like, "She had to get her beauty sleep tonight. She's cooking dinner. She's doing some moving and shaking." Um,
I I need to talk to you afterwards. I can't say
yeah,
this on
yeah, yeah,
live.
yeah. Oh yeah, there's some things that we got to talk about. I got some things that I've been a witness to. The change is coming, and it's coming in volumes. It's going to be a beautiful thing. A beautiful thing.
I know.
As soon as I can
saw
get
it.
this right eye to open all the way up and my hips work the way I want and I don't have the psoriasis, oh my gosh. And I can just walk out into nature and feel the feelings that I feel when I work out in nature and have all this healing. Man, life is about to get lit.
Amen.
Weed is so freaking legit. We too legit to quit. Didn't
There is no
somebody
quitting.
do what?
There is no quitting.
No quitting. No, no,
Go
no.
on.
You're gonna have to drag me out.
There's no way back.
Yeah, you can't turn back at this point.
Not at all. Not at all. It's not possible.
No, it could probably be possible. I could probably be stubborn enough and insane
Oh,
enough
no, no.
to try
Not Eric.
to just
Not
just
Eric.
to just to be a butt stinker. But what the fuck would I be doing if I did that? I'd be out of my mind. My dreams are coming true. Who doesn't want their dreams to come true?
Yeah.
And can you imagine, Takara, that we are in his dream too?
Right.
Holy shit.
Right. Like what?
I remember the night. The numbers don't mean shit to me, but I woke up that morning and the spirit was like, "You're gonna break 250," and I didn't even get on Happs in time to be a part of that challenge or anything. I didn't know the two things about it other than you had to get past 250. And spirit told me today you're gonna go past 250. And that night I had my daughter on my stream. I had Helga, I had Desiree, I had Michael Bathurst. I'm probably forgetting a few people. There's some people in the chat, and the way Helga was sitting, I just kept looking at Helga on my screen because I had seen her in my dream, and it was multiple times I had that dream. It wasn't just like once. Some of these dreams of y'all I've had multiple times, and it just really kept me in the moment. Like Helga's saying, there's no going back. I mean.
Yeah.
I'm sitting here having this whole new appreciation for life. I'm having this whole new way of living life. And at the same time, I'm in that patience realm, waiting for this dream stuff to come to a whole nother way of living life that I have yet to experience. But it's coming.
Yeah. How old's your daughter?
She's currently 14. She'll be 15 in May.
Wow. Amazing. So she's on Happs?
She is. She's under like a fake name and all that good stuff. Executive person. She I was trying to keep her under wraps because I did read the legalities of this thing when I signed up. Anybody 13 and above can sign up, but you have to have a parent present with you. And my wife was like, well, technically she did have a parent present. I was like, yeah, but I wasn't in the same room. I was in another house. But they didn't know that she might not be in that house at that time, which for all intents and purposes, who knows? Maybe she was, she wasn't. I can't lie. So,
Yeah.
but she was going to get on to just kind of sneak on there and troll me a little bit. Not like troll me, but she was going to spy on me a little bit. And she kept dropping hints. And I had Miss Joy in the stream at that time. And I was like, she ended up saying, yeah, she's like going to be 15 this year. I was like, oh, wait a minute. This executive person seems to know a lot about my daughter. I was like, I think I might have a good idea who this. So I invited her up, and God, I think that was one of those 2 or 3 o'clock mornings. We didn't make it to 5 o'clock that morning, but oh, we just hit 6 o'clock, 6 a.m. here.
Yes, we
the
did.
all, the unseen, the mystical, the magic. Who's got your 6?
And I hit 11.
Oh shit!
Wow.
6 plus 11 gets you 8 all the time. We riding the divine train, infinity. Oh, there's 440 people live chatting right now.
Oh my goodness!
Wow.
Yeah.
So 400.
Eric, can I share that I saw you in my dreams many, many years ago? Do you remember that I told you that? That I had a dream that a tall man, would come into my life, and he had one daughter. And it is many, many years ago. I was living in my other house. It's more than, Romelo is 23. I think 2 years ago.
22 as of the 4 heart chakra. I'm not that tall though. Maybe you were like sitting down when you saw me.
Than me.
Oh, am I?
How tall?
How tall are you?
In Holland, we say 165.
All right, give it to me in inches or feet. Okay, so 160
meters. Meters, yes. 165.
160 meters. 165 meters. Okay, I'll have to look that up. My internet's not letting me do anything but Happs right now.
Okay.
I would say that's probably around like 5'2", 5'3", 5'4", something like that. Maybe. I'm 5'8", so.
So you're taller.
Okay. Well, you know what? That's interesting because if I was to just go off your persona, I would think you're like 6 feet tall, Helga. Like, you've got like this, like, I don't know, presence and your energy and just everything. But now that you're opening up, now I can see you as a short person. Everything just changed for me. I was like, oh my God.
Short and unseen, but feel.
There you go. There you go.
My first yawn.
Uh-oh. The first yawner. I missed it, so it wasn't contagious. I totally missed
it. What is the time at your place, Takara?
The same as Eric's. It's 6:03.
Okay.
Yeah. And I've been pretty much live since like.
And you did your first live stream yesterday, didn't you?
No. That was my 7th.
Oh, 7th. That's right, because you've been doing the challenge. That's right.
Yeah.
So you got on before January 31st. Okay.
Yeah.
Nice. How's that going for you?
It's been really fun. This has been my first time ever being live, like ever. So
It was the last one. I knew it. It was going to be 5-4. Dean, thank you for looking that up for us. You're 5'4", Helga. All right, so I got 4 inches on you. I got 4 inches on you. So you're right. You are right. I was tall. It just depends on who's saying it.
That's true. Oh, nice.
What was I was asking you something. What was I?
About the chat or going live.
Oh yeah, the challenge. So yeah, how's that been working for you? Do you? So I don't even know. Like, so you have to get to 250 every week, every month. What's the 250 thing?
The 250 is you have to have 250 live viewers. So like the replay viewers don't count, and you have to do it at least once a week for 8 weeks.
Okay.
And you also have to go live for more than 10 minutes, and you also have to multi-stream.
So if you do a stream and it doesn't get 250 on Wednesday, but Friday you get to 250, as long as you get over 250 once a week, that's what counts. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering. I think I would have been able to do it if I was in the ramifications, but I don't care. It's all good. I was just happy that Spirit told me, all right, today you're going to break 250, and that's what happened. And I was like, yay, Spirit's always spot
right.
on. So
Right.
I better just follow.
Right.
And, like what we were talking about earlier, Takara, is, religion and the suffocation and everything. Like I said, I don't know the Bible that well, but what I did learn was through fear. And that's what stuck through me. And so, like when the Bible talks about the Garden of Eden and the tree of life, it talks about the serpent, being in the tree, and that you don't want to partake of or bite the fruit, the apple, the knowledge, because it says once you partake of the knowledge, and this always, like you said, growing up, you just felt drawn to spirituality. This always gave me a problem. Before I came into the knowingness of Kundalini and all these other things, Spirit said, or the Bible said, that if you partook of the knowledge, then that was the ultimate sin, because then you had a knowingness and you would be a servant. And you would have to follow all of that knowledge. So you would know the future, and you would have to follow what you knew to be your path on the future. I was like, why could that ever be a bad thing? I don't understand how that could be a bad thing. Oh, it's bad because the snake tempted you and you took the bite of the apple and you got the knowledge. Well, I'm going to tell you right now, I vicariously in 2013, which you do the math and that adds up to 6, I raised my Kundalini. I didn't know what I was doing. That wasn't my goal. I didn't know what Kundalini was, but when it happened, I kind of knew what was happening. And as much as before I raised my Kundalini, I kind of got the future. After that, I really got the future. And so by raising my Kundalini, I partook of that knowledge. And now, ever since then, I've been getting more and more of what my future is. And so what are we talking about right now? Spirit's telling me something, and I better listen. But if you read the Bible, that's a bad thing. You signed up with Satan, the snake, and the tree of life. The tree of life is your spine. That's the 33 degrees of Jesus's life. And all this stuff has been twisted in a way that people are being fearful of what it is that they're supposed to actually do to do what Jesus did. And I'm like, oh my goodness, everything is actually upside down. It's like if you look at like weightlifters, when they go to do their exercise, like if you're doing a curl and you're doing this with your muscle, you're supposed to breathe out as you exert the force. But if you're exercising your muscle, what does your muscle need the most? It needs oxygen. So you should actually be breathing in instead of breathing out. And I'm like, oh my goodness, Jesus, everything is backwards. So I don't know.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
I can't remember. I never had even heard of the word Kundalini until like last month, I think, or the month before.
Oh.
And and right now I can't remember where I heard it, but it really like was like, what is that? And I made note to Google it. And I left that tab open like for a long time. And then like I think I like kind of read like kind of like a synopsis. Like I didn't really like research or anything, but you know how like if you Google something, like it will give you like a drop down of questions of like, so I like read like a question or two with the answers.
Yeah. I say like, what is Kundalini? How do you do it? Or what is it? Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
I
like
love
just
those.
to get at least an idea of like what it even is. And then I did, but I left that tab there for so long as like a reminder to be like, figure out more. Like you want to know more. And then I don't know when I finally just I don't know if I closed it or if like my computer died and it was closed.
Restarted, yeah.
Yeah, like something happened to where it was closed and I didn't really ever look more into it. And you saying that was like oh yeah.
Like yeah. Kind of like the other night when I said that and the other person that you had talked with was like masculine energy, and then and this is me following spirit in this moment. Like before you started talking about Christianity, I was telling you I had this feeling like I needed to go in this direction. These are the stories, or these are the things that I needed to talk about with you. Yeah. And then I was told to wait a second. You said some things that validated, okay, she's open to this. Yeah. Because a lot of this stuff that I'm sharing with you now, and anybody that watches the replay, well, it is what it is. You know, I'm in link with love of the highest degree. Don't try to get any of this stuff twisted. If you do, you'll be on a whole rabbit hole. You'll be your own journey. Love you. Hats off to you. You can run from it. I did. You know. But yeah, and then it keeps telling me to bring up Kundalini. It keeps telling me bring up Kundalini. Okay, really? Talk about the serpent and the Eve. Dish it to her. And so, yeah, I was kind of waiting for you to say something like that. So thank you for that.
I gotta stop saying that's crazy. Like to me, it's good crazy, but I love it.
Yeah, that's something else I was gonna bring up tonight. Because it's something that spirits kind of had to beat over my head. You got to watch your words.
Yeah.
You know, it's very interesting. It's very something else besides crazy.
I'm excited. Like that's what I'm saying. Yeah, I'm excited.
Yeah. These are the days of our lives. LOL. Oh, that was beautiful. Perfect timing, Dina. Perfect timing, Dina. Oh, I love it. And I caught it moments ago, it says. Not 1 minute ago, not 8 minutes ago, moments ago.
Right. Yeah.
Which must mean I've been hearing people say the lag is not as bad as it was a month ago, because I think, wasn't it Vaughn was talking about that the other day, Hoga? How like you can't be in those roasty moments because if you say something 15 seconds after it's done.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
So, which gives me good hopes for, which I don't like the word hope. Gives me good.
Why not? I caught you say that the first time.
I wish I could explain it better. I used to have a better way, and I forgot all the words.
Is it like saying like when people are like, "Don't say try, just do"?
Kinda. So hope is kind of like believe.
Right.
You don't know it, but you're hoping that it's going to be true.
Yeah.
Faith is kind of in that realm, but it's different. Faith, you've got some kind of knowing, kind of like I have to have faith right now that these things that I've been told about my dream work, considering that I'm doing the work, I'm making the connections. In some cases, my divine partner, I've made the disconnections to make the connections, to make the disconnections, that these things are going to happen. I have to, so for a while I kind of poo-pooed faith, and then Spirit's like, no, actually you really have to step into that one, Eric. But hope is kind of like it's like a void, it's like a hollow tube, and you can get lost in hope. You can just keep hoping for something, and it's never gonna happen. Shouldn't say never. It's not ever going to happen. I'm gonna test the lag. So tell me when you see this. Oh, I already missed it. All right. Let's try it again. Let's try it again.
So hopefully she heard me.
Oh, you caught her. You got it. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Good. Yes. Takara is a little bit more on point than I am at this point. I'm gonna go to the restroom real quick. Y'all figure that time out. Helga, you jump back in here. I'll shut up for a moment. And
yes, please.
Oh my goodness. Okay, we see it. I'm talking to Dina. She's trying to test her lag.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, tell me now when you see this. Okay. So, are you ready for this pet, Takara?
Am I ready for what?
This pet.
This path? Oh my goodness, yes. I've been ready. Yeah.
Good. You know, we have been living a life for ages that is not us.
Yeah.
And I believe this is the time that we need to stand up in ourselves and accept what we are so that we can do things that Jesus said that we would do, and even bigger things. Because what he showed us in my view is what we are. Everything what he did when he was on earth, he showed us that is what we are. That is what we can do.
-21 -7. I have no idea why that's there.
What?
So I don't even fully know what just happened. I was listening to you, and then I was reading the comments from Dina, and I think I was going to like go to the little, what do you call it? Like the comment box, and my mouse like went like hovered over the calculator on my computer, and it flashed in front of my face and then disappeared, and I was like, what the heck was that? And then I somehow was like, oh, it was the calculator, even though I didn't know it was the calculator. So then I clicked on the calculator to see like, was that what it was? And there's like the history of the last thing I did in the calculator, and I don't remember doing that. Like, I don't remember why I would have. I kind of remember. But anyways, But what's in the calculator is 2014, and then so like I love adding all the numbers too, and that's 7, right? 4, 5, 6, 7, yeah. And then, and to get to 2014, it says I have 2021 minus 7, and I'm like, why did I want to know 2021 minus 7? I don't even remember. And I don't know why it just flashed in front of me right now. The woo.
Maybe Eric can explain it.
Okay, I'm sorry. I was here but not here. What's the number?
The big bolded number is 2014.
2014, okay.
And then to get to that, I have 2021 minus 7.
2021 minus 7.
Yeah, which equals 2014.
2014.
Right.
So 3 times 7.
3 times 7. What?
Hold on. The first was 7. And then 20,
where did that come from?
2021.
The 21.
Oh,
minus 9.
Yeah, so there is some, yeah. So what's all this ramified about? Where?
It just flashed in front of my screen on like accident or purpose. I don't know what. I don't even know what just happened. That's why I was trying to explain that. I think I just accidentally hovered over the calculator on my computer, and that was still like there in the history.
Oh, okay.
Even though I don't remember doing it.
So 2014 adds up to 7.
Right.
And then we're 7 years from it because we're in 2021, and you minus 7, and it gets you back to 2014. So 7's been a big thing. Me and Des were doing something earlier tonight, and it was all about the 7s. Oh yeah, no, me and Samantha did our meditation, and when we got done with our meditation, I looked at the clock and it was 4:21, which adds up to 7. And then when me and Des started our meditation, it was 7:07. We got to a certain point in the meditation, and I saw certain things, and I opened my eyes, and I moved my mouse, and I looked at the clock, and it said 7:17. And then when we got done, it was a little bit later than when we got done, but it was the first time I looked at the clock, and it was 7:52, which 5 and 2 is 7, so that's 7 and 7 again. And I wrote it right under the 7:07 when we started, and all that ended up coming back to 7. So 7's a big thing today, or yesterday, or today, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
But yeah, Helga even said 3 times 7 is 21.
Mm-hmm.
But you're seeing 2014, so you've got the higher perspective. Then you've got 0, which doesn't add, but it's significant because that's the sacred feminine. So that's receiving all the information that needs to be actuated. And then you have the action right after the sacred. So you've taken the higher perspective of the sacred feminine into action with love being number 4. Gets you to 7, which is divine, or the architect.
Yeah. And what makes it like really the what did Dina say? The woo woo. What really makes it that is because I can't get it to do what it did again. Like it flashed in front of my screen real fast, and I'm like, what was that? And then I don't know whether me, source, spirit, I don't know if somebody told me like that was the calculator, but immediately that's what happened. Like I was like, what the heck just flashed? And I was like, oh, the calculator. And so then I went to the calculator and it like answered, like it was like, yeah, like that's what I saw. I didn't know what I saw until I saw what I saw. You know what I'm saying?
Right. So then let me ask you, when I'm going to ask you the question that you asked me earlier. What year or when did you start waking up or having? Because you said it was a few years ago. What was going on in what was going on in 2014? Let's get to
that. 2000. What year was that? For me, it was I don't know.
Because I would dare say you're meeting us in 2021. So subtract 7 years to get to 2014. Something happened in 2014.
I have it written down somewhere, but I don't know where. I feel like it had to have been. I don't think it was 2014. I think for me it was 2011.
That's good. You were before the 2012.
What's with 2012?
That's a typical, like, a lot of people will say 2012 was when they started waking up. So you were 1 year ahead of that curve, you know.
Let's see.
7 is spiritual. Yeah, it's divine. You know, the Bible says God created the planet and the universe and all that good stuff in 7 days, or 6 days actually, and the 7th day he rested. So, but that's why I put the architect in there. So it's divine and the architect, because y'all probably saw the program last night. If not, you can watch the replay. I can go on and on about all that stuff, which is all good. It's all important. But yeah, you know, being able to kind of pinpoint those things, you know, and it doesn't have to be something that was your major awakening, but probably something in 2014 happened that was significant to the translation of 2021. Because see, 2014 for me was the year that I went to the sound therapist. So I started meditating in 2012. Actually, it was the end of 2011, and started having all these visions. My lag is so bad, Dina says. Is it? Did y'all figure out how long the lag was on the comments?
She said 20 seconds, but it didn't. It definitely doesn't seem that way on our end. I don't know.
Yeah, that's interesting. I was thinking about that the other day when they were talking about it. I was like, but I have seen, like, when I'm on somebody else's broadcast, like Randy was reading quotes on Vaughn's. And I know Randy's got a really extremely powerful well, shit, Helga, I still got you over there and you got your clothes on now. I'm so freaking rude. Oh, no, that's not going to work. Hang on. Let me play musical chairs here.
Well, no matter what, she'll be sideways because her phone is sideways. Now you're upside down.
Oh, damn it. I was just about to fix it. You just stay right where you are, beautiful. All right. There we go. We got it. We got it figured out. Now I can point to my Brady Bunch family. Or the Hollywood Square. Wait a minute. Other way. We both did it at the same time. Right. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, it was funny. Me and Des and Helga were on here the other day, and Des was like eating something, and I like moved my camera and somehow, and I was like right here, and then Dez's fork was like right there, and I was like, ah. And it looked like I ate. She was feeding me, virtually feeding me.
Right.
I like it so bad. She says, "There you are."
Man, it's so weird.
It is. It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. Won't you be mine? Won't you be mine?
Be my neighbor.
Oh yeah.
What the heck happened now? My whole screen just went completely white. Like, okay, and then Google popped up, and
it's spirit saying.
Like that is so, but it was a different browser. Oh wait, I did move the mouse again, so maybe it was me somehow. I don't know.
Let's see. Oh man, I've got 107 likes or hearts or smiles. I don't think I've ever seen it go over like 15. Really? Spirit is messing with you, says Dina. Yeah. I know, man. It does sometimes. Like on my second broadcast, Lucia came on, and we were getting way into the woo. My whole screen went blank. I couldn't see jack.
Yeah.
And I couldn't even close anything. I had to end up going over to the computer and hitting the button to shut it all down because I couldn't do nothing. I had to restart the stream, and it was all right. I mean, everybody could hear me and they could see me. I don't remember if I froze up on that one or what, but it was strange. Yeah, that's the one thing, I really feel very grateful for Happs. They've definitely got to get some things sorted out. The sooner the better, obviously. But it's pretty amazing. The connections that are being made.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, Dina and Takara, I think I'm going to shut it down because me and Helga got to talk a little bit, and then I got to read Randy's email, and then I got to message my other soul sister and say, I'm not going to talk to you this morning because I'm going to be asleep.
Oh, man.
But it's been more than a pleasure, and I look forward to next time.
Likewise. Yeah, it's definitely been fun. Thank you so much for your time. Everybody have a good day, night, time. Just everybody have a good time.
There you go. Have a good time. It's all a good time.
Love all of y'all.
Love you too.
All right, see you soon.
Divine Star just subscribed. Thank you, Divine Star. Love you. Hang on a second, Helga. I'm gonna see if I got my green room privileges still or not. So I'm gonna end it. It's probably gonna end because I've lost my green room, and then we'll go over to Facebook Messenger. Yeah.
Alrighty.
But if it doesn't, I'll see you right here. If it doesn't end.
Alrighty.
I'm gonna push the button at 5 hours and 55 minutes or 55 seconds.